senior Irvin Ragland trying to fire up the Phoenix for a showdown with the Eagles. Live from Elon, North Carolina, it's Southern Conference football on Sports South. Today from Rhodes Stadium on the campus of Elon University, the Phoenix host the 21st ranked Eagles from Georgia Southern, who come in with a record of 4-1. Great to have you for today's game. I'm Tom Wormy. If you like offense, you will love this football game. Georgia Southern, #1 in the nation in rushing offense, while Elon is #2 in the country in passing offense. And both of these teams combined to score almost 80 points per game. Time to bring in my broadcast partner, Sam White, former SoCon quarterback and Super Bowl coach. And Sam, the question is, can the scoreboard operator possibly keep up with these two teams? Both of these programs on the rise.
That is not the question at all.
But they are up and coming.
They are up and coming. Both of these teams have a vision of what they want to do. The new young coaches on each side here, with Pete Limbaugh at Elon in his second year, and of course Coach Hatcher in his first year at Georgia Southern, are making innovative moves to move their programs along. For example, Jason Foster will not be a wide receiver this year. He's a quarterback leading the conference in rushing. No huddle offense for the Elon football team, a kind of a hybrid between what the Lehigh team a year ago did and what Hofstra has done with their new coordinator, Warren Ruggiero. This one could be a lighted up kind of an afternoon.
Let's talk about that senior quarterback from Georgia Southern, Jason Foster. 14 touchdowns on the ground for him this season.
And they're not all on the ground, though some of them will be in the air. But of those 311 yards of total offense a game that he's averaging, 176 of them are on the ground. And as you can see, he can run with the best of them. And he's warming up a little bit. He limbered up that arm a little bit earlier. Now he's getting the real part of his body ready to go, those legs.
And for Elon, the freshman quarterback, Scott Riddle, all he's done is posted 320 yards per game in his first year of college football.
And let me tell you, he's doing that by completing 30 passes per game and doing it at a clip of 70%. #2 in the conference, right behind Foster, who happens to be #1. This could be one of the most exciting games as you see Scott Riddle, a true freshman. He's not a lying freshman. This guy's a true freshman.
He tells the truth.
Ready to play. You betcha.
And the numbers certainly don't lie. And also special teams could play a big factor in this game. Elon is first in the Southern Conference in punt returns. And that is the head coach of Georgia Southern, Chris Hatcher, in his first season, 4-1, 80-13 overall. He was the head coach at Valdosta State for 7 years prior to taking over for the Georgia Southern Eagles. He is the third coach in 3 years for the Eagles, but he wants to try to establish some stability in Statesboro, and he brings his team up here to Rhodes Stadium to take on Elon in this Southern Conference matchup today. On the other side of the field, Pete Lembo, 37-year-old Pete Lembo in his second year with Elon, 8-8 overall, 52-22 overall, 5 years as the head coach at Lehigh, where he led them to 2 Patriot League championships. Elon will kick it away to get this game started. Number 97 is Andrew Wilcox, who will put it on the tee for the Phoenix.
Tom, this is going to be one of those ball games as you look at the temperature, ideal. Wind just 10 miles an hour won't affect not only the punting game but the passing game of Scott Riddle for Elon. This is going to be one of those games where the defenses are really going to be pressed and the defenses are going to be outmanned by the offense on both sides of the ball.
Ball's in the air, and we are set to go from Rhodes Stadium. Here comes Tim Camp on the return for Georgia Southern. Camp still on his feet. Takes a couple to Phoenix to finally bring him down, and the Eagles will put it in play from their own 23 to get things started here from Elon, North Carolina.
Right off the bat, you can see that it's going to be a physical game.
The quarterback for the Georgia Southern Eagles is Jason Foster. He has posted some incredible numbers thus far this season, Coach.
Well, most of them are on the ground. Remember, a year ago, he caught 9 passes for 84 yards in this game against Elon down in Statesboro. They moved him to quarterback, and he's #1 in the conference, averaging 176+ yards a game.
That's Foster in the shotgun on first down. The quick pass is incomplete. Trying to hit Chris Ashkuti, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Time for the Geico starting lineups. We will start with the backs and receivers for the Eagles. And besides Jason Foster, keep your eye on Lamar Lewis, second in the Southern Conference, averaging just under 100 yards per game. Across the line, the offensive line has allowed just 6 sacks this season, Coach. Here's a second down play, and it's Lewis across the 25 to the 26 for a short gain. Correction on the carry. Chris Teal, the freshman, making the carry. And here's the defensive alignment for Elon. Tim Happer, the defensive end. 17 tackles and 2 sacks so far. The backers, Durant Daniels leads the team. 40 tackles this season. 3 career interceptions. And along the defensive secondary, Chris Bland, 30 tackles for the 6'4", 196-pound senior for the Phoenix. That's a good look at Tim Happer, number 92. Foster takes off across the 30, and it appears that Foster has the Georgia Southern first down.
And that's what he does, is he runs the ball. They came out throwing the ball, the no huddle. Interesting way they run the no huddle. You look at the offensive linemen, they're all facing the sideline. Everybody gets the play from the side. See the set? Foster looks, his eyes are going straight down the field, and then as he releases, it's just him against the world right there. Everybody else is protected for the pass. Hopefully the rush upfield is by him at that point.
First down for Georgia Southern. Here's the pitch. Teal gets away from one man. It takes several Phoenix tacklers to finally bring him down. A short gain for Teal. A lot of work for about a 3-yard gain there on first down, Coach.
That is for 5'7", 180-pound freshman. You know, they've had, Georgia Southern's had the freshman of the week for the last 3 weeks in a row, and Teal was one of them. But that was just a straight option play. You've got the hand and the ball in the hand of a great runner in their quarterback, Foster, and then you've got Teal there as the second choice, which they took.
Teal from Cairo, Georgia, averages 3.4 yards per carry, has a touchdown this season. That came against Western Carolina. This is Ash Cootie, who makes the catch.
Urban Ragland came up, immediately read that. That was just basically a screen to the wide receiver. Watch the quarterback as he sets up. He immediately turns. He's not wasting any time. He's going that way, and he's going that way right away. There are no other receivers for him. And Urban Ragland, 5'9", 183 senior, defensive back, read that one all the way.
And he was the player firing up the Phoenix prior to the game today in the locker room for Elon. He has 5 career interceptions. Foster wants to throw on third down, looking for Teal. It's too high, and that'll bring up fourth down for Georgia Southern.
Elon that time came with double stunts in the interior line. They were expecting the pass. And this is a team, Elon defense, that is expecting run all day long. And on that particular play, they were looking on third down for the pass and came with a pass rush stunt.
Daniel Jordan, number 33, to punt it away, averages 39.5 per punt. Carlos Sullivan has to backtrack. Waits for it at the 18. Flag comes in, and Sullivan goes about a yard forward.
Boy, that was a quick flag. I don't think that was a flag. I think that was the beanbag marking where he caught the ball.
Okay.
So they're going to be clean right where they are at about the 23-yard line. Scott Riddle is the quarterback. This is a true freshman now from right here in North Carolina. His dad went to school here. He was recruited not very heavily by other Division I schools, mainly because they questioned his height. He is, on a good day, he's 6 feet tall, according to Coach Limbo, but on a good day, he's completing 30 passes, too.
And his first pass is incomplete. Larry Beard getting a piece of that one. Time for the Geico starting lineups. And for Elon, the backs and receivers, Terrell Hudgens, 8 touchdowns on the season to lead the Southern Conference. Across the line, go right to the center, Charles Porterfield, 6'4", 291, the senior, who leads the way along this youthful offensive line. Riddle keeps it and gets up to about the 30 to bring up 3rd and 3 for Elon. Here's the Geico defensive alignment for Georgia Southern. Across the front, Matt Wise, the former tight end, converted to defensive end. 14 tackles and 2.5 career sacks for him. The linebackers, E.J. Webb has 22 tackles, 1 sack, and a fumble recovery. And Chris Covington the junior from Lawrenceville, Georgia, leads the team with 30 tackles. Covington was the leading rusher for Georgia Southern last season. 824 yards and 8 TDs, now converted into the secondary for 2007.
Scott Riddle changed the play at the line of scrimmage. That illegal movement, though, took a little bit too much time. They've got several ways they run the no huddle, and one of them is they freeze the count, let the defense lock in. The coordinator upstairs here, Warren Ruggiero, will look at the defense and then make the call, signal it down. Took a little too much time. Everybody got angry.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
As I mentioned earlier, Pete Limbaugh was at Lehigh where they ran the no huddle. His offensive coordinator was at Hofstra with the no huddle, and this is a hybrid of the two.
Limbaugh had his 50th career win earlier this season against West Virginia Wesleyan. That pass to Hudgens, but he cannot get away from the Georgia Southern defense.
Yeah, this is a pass that is not thrown to the primary receiver. Scott Riddle is looking downfield. Hudgens is in the flat as an alternate receiver, basically just trying to control it. But out into the flat right here, he's trying to hit this receiver deep down the field. Look at the quarterback set in the pocket, steps up, not there. And there's the crossing pattern by Hudgens. Just takes what he gets. Decision making is important for a quarterback, but it's rare for a freshman quarterback.
Brandon Lane to punt it away.
Very unusual formation for the punt team. They're spread all over the field.
Raja Andrews stands at his own 30 to receive the punt from Lane. Lane is first in the Southern Conference, averages 43.2 yards per punt, and this one will trickle down to about the 33-yard line. That's where Georgia Southern will take over 1st and 10. We have no score. It's Southern Conference football right here on Sports South. Southern Conference football on Sports South is brought to you by Carolina Ford, where bold moves happen every day. By BB&T, there's opportunity there. By Food Lion, good neighbors, great prices. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Back to Elon University, Georgia Southern and the Phoenix from Elon here on Sports South. Georgia Southern comes in with a 4-1 record, 1-1 in the conference, and 1-0 on the road, beating South Dakota State last week at home 41-38. Foster under pressure, and he is going down.
When you contain a runner like that, Daniels was the initial container, and then Corey Weaver came in there back to back. But he's going to make a little fake, token fake. Now, when he comes to the right side right here, he's got that ball up to throw it. It's a quick throw or a run. He's not going to have many alternate receivers. He got trapped. Good job by Elon.
Daniels with his first sack of the season. It's a loss of 6 yards on the play.
Here's the blitz.
Officially called it 2nd and 15. Foster takes off, but he's stopped.
Well, let me see number 20 from the defensive left side. Cameron McClin comes from the left side. He's blitzing number 20. He's on the end of the line of scrimmage. Everybody knows he's coming. He's in that ready-to-go stance, but there was no one to peel back. Blocking back was on the far side, so he got a clean shot at him. 4-man line, as you see, 4 defensive linemen.
3rd and 13. Foster will throw. He'll throw deep. And incomplete. Looking for Joe Haney, number 82. And that'll bring up another 4th down for Georgia Southern. So thus far, Coach, Foster has been contained. When we talked to head coach Pete Lembo, he said, you cannot stop Jason Foster. It's hard to contain Jason Foster.
Jason Foster is throwing when his forte, of course, is running. They're trying to change it up. And, of course, on the Elon side, they ran the option as well with Scott Riddle, which is not what they do as bread and butter.
Jordan punts it away. Carlos Sullivan turns the corner. and gets up close to the 40-yard line. So pretty good field position for Elon on its second offensive possession of the game with 8:54 to go in the first quarter from Elon, North Carolina. No score from Elon, North Carolina, the Eagles and the Phoenix. And so far for the Phoenix, it's been a fairly successful season, a 3-2 record. And coming off a win at Western Carolina, 38-36, their first win in 8 trips to Western Carolina, Coach.
Yeah, that's correct. You notice they lost to number 5 South Florida, and they lost also to Appalachian State, who is currently number 5 in the FCS. So they played some tough opponents, and they played them well. In fact, in South Florida, they had a chance to win that ball game down there.
And that was the first career college game for Scott Riddle, playing at Raymond James Stadium, and he had quite a ball game. Michael Mayers. Pick up a 3 for Mayers. Now he's dangerous in the return game. In that Appalachian State game, he had a return of 100 yards for a touchdown. He's 5th in the nation in kickoff returns, so watch for him in that capacity as well.
Notice the blockers out in front of him right there. This is a design play. This is not an option, just a reverse.
2nd and 6. Hudgens across the 45 and forced out of bounds. Number 28, Chris Covington, making the tackle for Georgia Southern.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to get the wide receiver. In that case, it had to be Brandon Newsom, who's a running back wide receiver. He's going to leave and block and then throw the ball that time to Hudgens. But if you don't make that initial block, you have to hesitate to avoid the tackler. And here comes the other 10 or 11 guys, 9 or 10 guys.
Last week against Western Carolina, Hudgens with 8 receptions for 108 yards. Riddle trying to get to the marker, which is right at midfield. He looks to be just about a yard shy.
He's going to be a little bit short. You notice the trend right here. Elon is not featuring. They're running Scott Riddle, who's basically not a running quarterback. He's a passing quarterback. On the other side, Georgia Southern has been putting the ball in the air with Jason Foster, who is, of course, the leading rusher in the SoCon.
And look who is returning the punt for Georgia Southern. It is Jason Foster, who has returned 2 punts in his career for touchdowns. One of them against Appalachian State in 2004, 94 yards for a school record in a 54-7 victory. Signals for the fair catch, and he will make it at the 8-yard line. We will take a break with 7 minutes, 45 seconds to go. Georgia Southern has the football. No score from Elon. Back at Elon University, Georgia Southern and the Phoenix. No score here in the first quarter, 7:44 to go. From Rhodes Stadium and McKinnon Field. Beautiful facility here, the 7th year for the Phoenix in this stadium as Foster is taken down from behind. Number 10 makes the tackle, Corey Weaver for Elon. And for Georgia Southern, it comes in with a record of 4-1, 1-0 on the road. They did lose against Chattanooga in overtime, 45-38, but it's been very successful so far this season, Coach.
Well, this is a team that scores a lot of points. They're averaging 43 points plus a ball game. Of course, it's not happening right now. They were just playing the Jeopardy song out here, and we're all asking the same question. What's going on here? This is supposed to be a high-scoring affair.
Georgia Southern goes to the ground. Those 43.2 points per game, first in the Southern Conference and third in the football championship subdivision. Walker White makes the tackle on Lamar Lewis, number 6. Lewis, the 2nd leading rusher in the Southern Conference, has 1 touchdown this season and averages 8.7 per carry. 4 right next to him, Jason Foster.
Yeah, Georgia Southern 43 here. All the scores right. Elon at 37 looks like a weak sister. That's a lot of points.
Foster's coming back this way. He has some running room across the 20 and up close to the 30-yard line.
Jason Foster did a very smart thing on his reverse. He rolled to the left, and when he had to change direction and come back to the right, he keeps, a late flag right now. Somebody must have said something. But watch where he carries the ball as he rolls to the right. Now watch, the ball stays up like he's going to throw it. What that does is it keeps the defense soft. They can't release and come up and make the tackle because it looks like he hasn't decided whether he's going to run or throw. Boy, that flag came real late. Somebody must have said something to somebody.
That was after a 17-yard pickup on the ground for Foster. It was good enough for a first down, but let's see what the flag is all about.
Well, everybody was already heading back to their respective huddles. It wasn't like there was a confrontation going on in the field.
Chris Hatcher is 34 years old. He is the youngest coach in the football championship subdivision.
Well, they rule. Doesn't that mean that there's an illegal receiver downfield? That's an illegal procedure.
Well, either way, it's going to go against Georgia Southern.
Yeah, either that or now they're trying to decide what they want to do.
They already have the sticks set.
See, this is being marked. I've got my signal wrong right there because this is being marked. Now they're marking it from the line of scrimmage and stepping it off. It looked like they were trying to decide whether to...
On the offense. Half the distance to the goal remains first down. That'll be third down. Third down.
That is referee Gerald Trexler sorting out that flag there. And
that wasn't a good enough sort for me.
No, you're not satisfied, huh?
I'm not sure what the violation was right there.
Well, that pushes the ball all the way back to in between the 6 and 7 yard line. It'll be 3rd and 13 for Georgia Southern, negating the 17-yard pickup for Foster, and he had a first down in the process. And the ball's on the turf, and there's a tackle right at the goal line. Elon wants a safety.
They're not going to get it. It's going to be about the 1/2 yard line.
Yeah, Cameron McGlenn made the tackle on Foster, who was fumbling for the football, and they'll spot it just beyond the goal line.
And the snap is a little low into the outside, and there was going to be a ball handling fake right there. So all of it trying to happen at one time, and that's when the fumble happened. But that was real close to a safety. Not much room to punt either.
Jordan from the back of his end zone gets off a nice punt. Oh, Sullivan makes a fair catch.
Now let me tell you,
47.
Yeah, Carlos Sullivan is a terrific punt return man. He's got one for a touchdown already this year, and I think he just had a little poor judgment right there. Thought they were a little closer than they were.
That was an 80-yard return against West Virginia Wesleyan for Sullivan, but maybe he had some room to run here, Coach.
Yeah, but look where he is right there. Now let's see, there's nobody even in the picture right now, and he's waving for the fair catch.
Now, does he get a signal from the sideline, or is he making that decision on his own?
It's all his own. Now he's glancing down to see how quick the coverage is coming and getting his eyes back up and making sure he keeps his eye on the ball. But I think he probably put his hand. Once your hand goes up and you wave it, you can't retract it. That's probably what happened. And wishes he'd had a shot at that one. He could have made some, helped himself with his return average.
Still very good field position from the Georgia Southern 47 as Riddle hands off. That's Dante Taylor, number 30, with his first carry of the game. And not much there on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and 10, and there is a player down for Elon. It is number 70 for the Elon Phoenix. And that is
Harrison.
David Harrison, exactly. And he is face down at the moment.
Boy, of course, you hate to see anybody injured in a game, but when they don't move at the right guard. Now watch right here, number 70. He's generally, the linemen get hit from the blind side. They don't see it coming. They're engaged with their block, and another blocker or someone trying to get to the ball carrier stumbles into the back of their legs, and that's the scary one. A lot of the linemen will wear braces. They're not braces that slow them down, but they just protect them against injuries like that. Can't protect you against everything. It looks like he's got braces on. Yeah, you can see him right there. He's wearing the protective brace, which, let me promise you, will reduce the severity of the injury at least.
The sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina, being helped off the field. Next time you're online, be sure to check out www.soconsports.com, the official internet home of the Southern Conference.
Well, they will get right back at it at the line of scrimmage. No huddle.
2nd and 10 for Elon. Riddle throws, and it's incomplete. Looking for Hudgens, but he was tangled up with a defender and had no chance to make the grab.
I'll tell you, this is they're throwing that little quick screen out there, but Georgia Southern has obviously practiced that all week long. Watch how quick at the top of the screen. Watch how quick the defensive back Well, I would say reacts, but Crud, he was there the whole time.
Brandon Jackson was right there on the play.
Yes, Crud's okay.
Crud.
Scott Riddle normally makes very good decisions. That was not one of them.
Alert the FCC. Riddle in trouble. The pocket collapses and he goes down.
Tom, you know what we're seeing? We're seeing these two teams spar with each other a little bit because the mismatch was the offense of each team against the defense of their opponent. And it's been just the other way. Last week at the Citadel, Wofford and the Citadel, we had the same situation. High-powered offenses that were stopped by defense. This is just straight pass rush. That is the offensive line giving just a little bit too much ground. The depth of the quarterback can be a part of that problem, but that time it looked like it was just good pass rush.
Credit Dakota Walker with the sack. Foster back to receive the punt. Foster from his 7. Changes direction and now is forced out of bounds by 3 Elon defenders.
Does the term water bug ring a bell right there? That was all over the place. 1-2.
So Foster will bring the offense out again that has not done much so far. And this is an offense that is exceptionally high powered. 357.4 yards per game. And right now the Eagles have 7 total yards. That 357.4 is on the ground, first in the nation. And 494 for total offense, also first in the football championship subdivision.
They're used to averaging that on every snap, not just total yards at this stage of the game.
Foster has it. Flying up the left side. Foster finally cut down near the 40.
So this is a fake off to the right side. It is an option, but Foster keeps this. He reminds me of a fellow that played at the University of Tampa named Freddie Solomon. He played for me when I was coaching the 49ers. And he just natural instincts, how quick he made people miss. But once he turned it up the field, he had the jets. He had that second gear.
26 yards on the play. The flag comes out at midfield as Lewis has the carry on first down, but there is a flag on the play.
Officials converse before every call, and the reason they do it to make sure they get it right. It's a little. We wonder sometimes what they're talking about. They're talking about what happened to make sure they don't make a mistake.
It'll go against Elon.
Illegal participation. Elon. Penalties refused. Second down.
Well, that's twice we've heard that, and I am not sure what they're referring to. Normally that would mean 12 men on the field, I guess, but they don't have 12 men on the field. Jason Foster. Look at that, 176 plus yards, completion percentage over 70%, 192 all-purpose yards, and he's responsible for 17 points a game.
And there goes Lewis to the 20. And Lewis has a clear path to the end zone. And just like that, Georgia Southern with the quick strike offense. Touchdown, Lamar Lewis.
We're talking about Jason Foster, and the second leading rusher, almost 100 yards a game, is Lamar Lewis. He broke that one, averaging over 8 yards, almost 9 yards a carry. That ain't going to hurt. That run won't hurt that average. Beautiful shot. This is just a straight handoff. That wasn't an option. Notice the quarterback was not looking to read anything. Man-to-man blocking, and pop through that 4-man line of Elon.
55-yard touchdown burst from Lewis. The extra point is good. Lamar Lewis gets the football and goes 55 yards to the house to give Georgia Southern a 7-0 lead. And maybe they heard us, Coach. We were asking the question, where's the Georgia Southern offense? It's right here, and it wears number 6 in white and blue.
And you notice how it was just pure man-to-man. Everybody engages. So we used to use the term cover up your defender. In other words, lock onto him. It's going to take a second for the ball carrier to pick and choose the hole he's going to run in. But he's coming to the left side, and once he gets there, of course, he plants and goes straight up the field, what they call north-south running.
Second touchdown run of the season for Lamar Lewis, the senior, 5'9", 200 pounds from Jacksonville, Florida. Lewis is a transfer from Florida State. You take a look at the drive, just 3 plays, 86 yards, took only 24 seconds capped by the 55-yard TD run. That is our Ford Bold Moves Carolina Ford dealers scoring drive.
You know, we're talking about they're averaging over 43 points a game. That's how they can do it. Is they may look like they've been stopped or they've been somehow the defense has figured them out, and then bang, they explode. On the other side, Elon is capable of doing the same thing. Generally, it's by the airways and off the arm of Scott Riddle, their freshman, their true freshman. Scott Riddle, though, looks like to me that he's made a couple of poor judgments, which is normally a strong suit for him. In the Appalachian State game, he said they drove down the first drive, got to the 6-yard line, 3rd down, went back to pass. Everybody was covered. He threw the ball right through the uprights to make sure there were no mistakes, and they still went in and got the field goal.
This is Sullivan from the 7. He is cut down at about the 24-yard line.
You know, part of what happens when two good football teams play each other is it doesn't look as flashy and you don't see quite as many big plays. That's because you've got good sound defenses and the old adage, you know, about good pitching and good hitting, which one wins? And normally it's the good pitching. Well, that would be the defensive portion of the analogy.
Diedrich Bynum made the hit on special teams, and Scott Riddle comes back out, set an Elon record with 33 completions in his first game against South Florida, and then he did it again against Liberty later in the season. 67.7% on the season, but he is going down. A sack. 98, Brandon Daniel has the sack for Georgia Southern.
The sack credited to the Eagles, number 98, Brandon Daniel.
Georgia Southern showed the blitz. Brandon Daniel kind of backed out, and then he's coming back up. Really, the reason he got there is it was a delay down the field. Nobody was open. Man-to-man coverage with one safety deep on that particular coverage, and there was no one to throw the ball to, and the defense got it.
First sack of the season for Brandon Daniel, the junior from Pompano Beach, Florida. He is a transfer from Florida.
Comes the blitz again.
It's complete over the middle.
The pass is complete, number 1.
Michael Mayers makes the grab. His 42nd catch of the season.
That was a read by Michael Mayers. Ball was released. He saw the blitz. When he saw those linebackers going the other way, he just turns and looks for the quick throw. And he's going to get it right here real quick. He's the alert receiver.
Elon 0 for 3 on 3rd down. Make it 0 for 4 on 3rd down today.
And I'll tell you, it's the pass rush. It's the threat of the pass rush when the rush isn't really there. That time, I think Scott Riddle had a little more time to set himself to throw it, but he has been under pressure all afternoon, and he still feels that pressure.
So Brandon Lane has to come back on the field to punt it away. Jason Foster standing at his 25-yard line.
This is part of the innovations of both coaches in their respective teams. They don't mind putting anybody back there to be a punt returner if he's the best guy for this particular game this day, and they've done it with all the positions, both sides of the ball.
Lane just barely got it away, and there could be a penalty coming up as Foster lets this one roll inside the 20, but there is a flag down. There could be a roughing the kicker call. Brandon Jackson, number 2, ran into Lane. He did just barely get it away, but indeed it is a personal foul, and it'll go against Georgia Southern. Automatic first down for Elon.
It is, and you know, Elon has the wide open spread protection, and Georgia Southern, I'm sure, has decided they're going to bring an extra guy where they're not, coming from this side right here. There they go.
Roughing the kicker, number 2 on the defense.
When you can't stop.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The first rusher takes care of the blockers. The second rusher is going to get a chance to block the punt. But you always block the punt about 3 yards in front of where the ball comes off the punter's foot, which means you're really about 5 yards in front of where he starts. And that time he got shoved wide enough that he went right into it.
So they'll spot the football at the Elon 45, 1st and 10 for the Phoenix. After the roughing the kicker penalty against Brandon Jackson. Riddle has some time, and he connects. Lance Camp with the catch. That'll be good enough for a first down, and it's a 15-yard pickup on the play, Coach.
Man-to-man coverage. Lance Camp just goes straight down and breaks across the middle. Watch Scott, he's looking to the left all the way. He's expecting that opening to be there because there are no linebackers. One linebacker blitzed, the other one was covering man-to-man.
That is the first down for Elon in the game as they move inside the Georgia Southern 40-yard line. To the ground, Brandon Newsome on the carry, picks up about 3 to the left side.
Part of the reason you're seeing as much running as you're seeing by Elon is to slow down that pass rush that's been getting to Scott Riddle. As a coach, I can tell you when you're getting your quarterback hit, you start thinking about draws and screens. They've thrown the quick screens to the wide receivers, and now, in effect, something similar to a draw on that last play.
91, go!
4-man line, 4-man rush.
Riddle throws. Hudgens makes the catch very close to the first down marker, just inside the 30. It's a 7-yard pickup on the play.
Once again, Georgia Southern in man-to-man coverage. Man-to-man meaning that you're going to stay with your guy wherever he goes, wherever he runs. Zone coverage, of course, you're covering an area. You're covering a zone. If anybody comes into your zone, you pick him up. If he leaves your zone, you let him go to the next guy.
Hudgens averages over 10 catches a game as the ball goes on the turf. Georgia Southern says it has it.
Well, it's going to be 4th down. If they have it, they'll still have another chance at it. They try to go up and on a quick count run the quarterback sneak. Georgia Southern could sense the tempo being different coming out of the huddle, and they were right there and knocked it loose. Watch. Before he can get the ball from the center back to himself, the wall has been created and the surge is coming from the defense rather than from the offense. You notice that the movement is starting left to right in your picture right there. Georgia Southern pushing Elon back. That leaves a long field goal try.
48-yard attempt for Andrew Wilcox. As long as 37 this season, his career long 43. He is 5 of 10 on field goals so far this season. And this one is good. From 48 yards away for Wilcox, that is his new career long.
Credit Brandon Lane, the holder. The snap was a little high and outside. Very tough when you're on one knee. He made the clean placement and a good kick. That ball not only got down, got there with plenty of room to spare. Nice end-over-end rotation, although there is no wind out here. But when there is wind, you want that ball rotating just like that because it holds the course of the ball true. You know, those sidewinders, those soccer-style kickers, can pull the ball. Generally, when they miss it, they pull it, and it'll pull and miss to the left. But that was a good placement first and a good kick second.
Wilcox, an all-SoCon performer last season, and he boots through his career long of 48-yarder to make it 7-3. Elon on the board with just 8 seconds to go here in the first quarter from Rhodes Stadium and McKinnon Field in Elon, North Carolina. Here's your Carolina Ford bold moves. Carolina Ford dealers scoring drive, 8 plays, 6 yards, 3 minutes and 43 seconds. They went 6 yards to officially get to the 47-yard field goal attempt and conversion by Andrew Wilcox. He is now 6 of 11 this season in field goals.
Remember, the clock won't start. There's 8 seconds left, but the clock won't start until it is touched by Georgia Southern. So we may get another playoff here after this kick.
This is Camp, 2 yards deep, and he decides to stay there.
And they will get another snap because the ball was not brought out of the end zone. The clock didn't move.
Let's take a look at our Southern Conference scoreboard. From around the SoCon, Wofford and Gardner-Webb have gone into the third quarter, and Wofford, the 8th-ranked team in the nation, leads it by 7. Furman on top of the Citadel in Charleston, South Carolina in the second quarter by 20. Chattanooga and Western Carolina coming up tonight at 6.
Furman 27-7, a little bit of a surprise. We saw the Citadel last week. They're a very good football team, and that is, of course, in Charleston. Furman on the road leading 27-7.
This is Teal. And Teal, close to the first down marker, should be good enough for a fresh set of downs as the clock runs out and expires here in the first quarter. So we look forward to the second quarter here from Rhodes Stadium. And Elon, North Carolina. Our score after the first 15 minutes. The Eagles from Georgia Southern, the 21st ranked team in the nation, lead the Elon Phoenix 7-3. Lamar Lewis with the touchdown run for the Eagles, and they lead 7-3.
You're watching Sports South.
Southern Conference football on Sports South is brought to you by Carolina Ford, where bold moves happen every day. By BB&T, there's opportunity there. And by Food Lion, good neighbors, great prices. Sliding down the hill here at Elon, 7-3. Georgia Southern leads the Phoenix on its home turf. This is a beautiful facility, the 7th season here at Rhodes Stadium. Capacity of over 11,000 seats. And that's a short game for Georgia Southern. That is Teal again. And you look at the numbers from the first quarter. Georgia Southern with 105 yards rushing, but the rest of it is pretty ugly, Coach.
Well, that 105 yards, though, a lot of it came on the long run by Lamar Lewis for the touchdown. They've really, the numbers have been low on both sides other than that particular run.
Lamar Lewis has 3 rushes for 65 yards. Jason Foster 6 carries for 23 yards. Again, the ball is on the turf, and Foster has to improvise. Across the 40 and knocked down at the 45.
Just like they practiced it all week long. I'll promise you, that last fumble was a setup. No, this is not the ball. It was low and outside, exactly in the same spot. Watch, he's going to hit out here. There it is. It's low and outside, but what a terrific runner. As you look at his shoulders, he can't, or you can't read his shoulders, so you don't know whether he's going left or right because he goes sideways the first step and then he's gone.
13-yard gain for Foster. That's a first down. The ball spotted just beyond the Georgia Southern 45. Here goes Foster again. Couple of moves, spins his way into Elon territory. 8-yard pickup on the play for Foster.
Now, let me just tell you, as a coach, it is so much fun to watch somebody with natural ability. You know, you don't go out there and drill those particular moves. He's either got them or not. But the snap again, low. And they, I will tell you right now, are used to doing that. That is not new. Suarez, the center, Jesse Suarez, is their regular snapper, so there's nothing unusual about it.
This is Lewis. Turns the corner. And Lewis has a first down and much more for Georgia Southern.
Okay, you're starting to see Elon now wearing down just a little bit in their gang tackling team defense. That time after the handoff, Jason Foster, had he kept the ball, I think might have had as long a run as well. Good snap that time.
14 yards for Lewis, who gets the call again. Now, coach number 70 for Georgia Southern is into the game at center, and that is Cole Fountain.
We were told that Cole Fountain would play some. He'll be playing a lot today, actually, which is just a general rotation. They've got a lot of injuries on that offensive line. Herrera, their left guard, is out. You see Fountain there at center. Elon moved a little bit early. The flag's up. This is a free play for Georgia Southern.
Foster looking for Campbell, who was defensed by Carlos Sullivan, but there is a flag on the play. In fact, there's one at the 30-yard line and one in the end zone.
Georgia Southern jumped early, so that gave him the free play, and I think there's going to be interference called in the end zone.
That's Irvin Campbell, the senior from Lake Worth, Florida. He was the intended receiver, had his first touchdown catch last week against South Dakota State in that victory for Georgia Southern, 41-38 at home.
If it's defensive interference, they will decline the penalty at the line of scrimmage and take the one down the field, which will be the longer penalty. Therefore, they'll get more yards out of it. It's not like the NFL. You don't get the ball at the 1-yard line in the end zone if you interfere. Oh, offsetting penalties. They ruled that Georgia Southern drew Elon off. Did you get another run? Who did that? Let's see. Here's the movement coming. I don't see anybody on Georgia Southern moving, but somebody must have. And the interference here at the end of the play.
And I think they called the interference on Irvin Campbell, the Georgia Southern receiver.
Yeah, they did.
Going against Carlos Sullivan. Let's get the official word.
Defense, number 94 in the neutral zone at the snap. Number 80 on the offense. Pass interference. Those penalties offset. Second down.
Yeah, we had the first time around wasn't the right signals, but that was. So it did go against Elon at the line, but offensive pass interference in the end zone.
Joey Hall, number 94 for Elon, was the man who jumped. So let's do it all over again. Second down and 7 for the Eagles. Again, the ball is on the turf. Poor exchange for Foster, and he just has to fall on it, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
That time Foster, if you notice, was closer to the center. He's moved up about a yard from where he normally is. Look how much closer he is. He's way up in front of this ball carrier who's going to be coming right there for the read. And the ball carrier, basically, they just bump into each other. I know they've run that 1,000 times, spring and summer, and all season long.
3rd and 10 from the Elon 34 for Georgia Southern. Foster has to run. Gets away from 2 men and squirts out towards the 30. He'll be taken down at the 32-yard line, but that's well short of a first down as Foster was running for his life, and number 98 David Hunt is clutching his right elbow and remains down.
This will be a 47, 48-yard field goal if they attempt it here on 4th down.
Jesse Hartley is the field goal kicker for Georgia Southern. His long is 54 yards. And guess what? He kicked it last week on the final play of the game against South Dakota State for the victory for Georgia Southern, which had a 31-7 lead at the half. Let South Dakota State get back in the game and won it on the Hartley field goal with no time left on the clock, as David Hunt is helped to the sideline by the medical staff. And see if we can pick up the injury coach. There's Hunt, 98, diving after Foster.
Yeah, he comes to see how extended that left arm was, and he just came down hard. And of course, the shoulder socket took all of the blow on that one.
Hartley with a 49-yard attempt. It is long enough, and it is good.
Wow.
Jesse Hartley from 49 yards away, coach. 3 more points for Georgia Southern, and the Eagles go up 10-3.
That was pretty. And last week, as you mentioned, with 31 seconds to go, Carson Hill intercepted and gave him a chance to do it. And here's the repeat, just like last week.
Georgia Southern leads it 10-3 with 11:32 to go in the half. Number 45 on his helmet. 49 yards for the field goal by Jesse Hartley. And it gives the Eagles a 10-3 advantage here with 11 minutes 32 seconds to go in the second quarter. Our Ford Bowl Moves Carolina Ford dealers scoring drive, 9 plays, 48 yards, 3 minutes 37 seconds. Hartley from 49 yards away. He is now 8 of 10 on field goals this season. The transfer from Florida A&M.
There's the uniforms that somebody sitting around voted to be one of the best looking uniforms in the country.
Very classic.
Southern, yeah. Very traditional.
Sullivan fields it at the 9. Across the 25 and taken down. Up to about the 27. Philip Edwards made the tackle for Georgia Southern.
Elon huddling on the sideline. They get their call and they go right to the line of scrimmage. They don't go back and re-huddle at the out in the field. Some moron started the no huddle somewhere back when. It's just gotten way out of hand.
For Elon, 2003, its first year in the Southern Conference. Its first official year in 1AA, which is now FCS, was 1999. Brandon Newsom on the carry. And it's time for the Student Athlete of the Week. The Southern Conference would like to congratulate this week's student athlete, Bevan English of Davidson College. Bevan, a senior goalkeeper from Charleston, South Carolina, had 4 shutouts in 10 matches for the Wildcats Conference leading women's soccer team and carries a 3.74 GPA in biology. Our congratulations to the SoCon Student Athlete of the Week, Bevan English.
And a quick throw right out of the chute. That time to Bo Williamson. It was a pure zone defense, well read by Scott Riddle. You know, I think Scott Riddle, honestly, he came in, he just looked a little bit nervous. Looked like he was a little bit uptight. Now he's starting to settle down. He looks more positive with his throws. And as a quarterback, you have to be decisive when you're throwing that football.
Elon 0 for 5 on the afternoon on 3rd down. Riddle has a little time and uses it effectively. Hudgens up near midfield, and that is a Phoenix first down. 14-yard pickup on the play. Riddle to Hudgens.
Terrell Hudgens was a quarterback this time last year. And, of course, with the addition of Scott Riddle. But look at Riddle. He looks to the right, looks to the left. Now he sets himself. He doesn't just throw. He moves his feet. A good quarterback is not just moving his shoulders, looking left and right. He's moving his feet to get himself set to throw to the left or to the right.
Hudgens is first in the nation with almost 11 catches per game. And there's a sack. That is Larry Beard, number 55. His second sack of the season.
Larry Beard is alternating, coming in there and staying fresh. Here he is coming up the outside. Just beats the tackle, the left side there, Chris Warren. And that's a clean sack. That is just pure speed rush right there. That's not a bull rush. It's not a move or a stunt. Just a quick first step.
And it's the 3rd sack of the game for the Georgia Southern defense. Here's Riddle to throw. It's incomplete, looking for Lance Camp. So that'll bring up 3rd and long for Elon, which appeared to gain some momentum on the big pass play between Riddle and Hudgens. But now it's 3rd and long, Coach.
On the last sack by Larry Beard, it affected that play right there. That time when Riddle set up, his legs were so far spread that when he went to step into the ball, he didn't really have any room to step into it to get his normal motion, and the ball flew on him. And I'm sure that he remembered the last time he set up, he got sacked. He wanted to get rid of it quick and made a mistake.
3rd and 16 for the Phoenix. Beard had a chance for another sack, and Riddle spun away from him.
Oh, he's got a man wide open.
He will throw it deep and connect. Bo Williamson at the 20-yard line. A 36-yard connection. Riddle to Williamson. What a play. He was almost sacked on the play, Coach.
And it was Larry Beard again coming off beating the left tackle and avoiding it. Everybody kind of let go of their coverage, and Williamson came all the way from the left side back, or the right side back over. Was wide open. The only danger there was with somebody recovering time to make a play. I think that time we were looking at Brandon Jackson getting a little anxious and popping the receiver before the snap.
Williamson now has 2 catches for 44 yards. Hudgens leads the way, 4 catches for 22 yards. And the penalty will go against Georgia Southern. Williamson, 5'10", the junior from Burlington, North Carolina.
Snap. Defense, number 2 in the neutral zone with contact. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
With contact, he knocked the fool out. He came across and knocked it back off his feet. But you're seeing Scott Riddle and Elon now coming back, which is a sign of maturity of a football team. They got down 10-3, and here they come.
Newsome on 1st and 5. And he'll get a couple. We are in Elon, North Carolina here in the 2nd quarter. Georgia Southern leading Elon University 10-3. Southern Conference football here on Sports South from Rhodes Stadium. Tom Wormy along with Sam Weich, former quarterback at Furman University and the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals in Super Bowl 23. And you can see Elon negative 34 rushing yards, and this play is stopped cold by a host of Georgia Southern defenders. Newsome had nowhere to run.
Revise that to negative 36 now. That was about a 2-yard loss. Pure man-to-man coverage out. I thought they would go to the slot up at the top of the screen to the left, but they went on the run straight ahead. Notice how the quarterback held the ball out there and extended it all the way out. What that does, it freezes the defense. As long as that ball is extended like that, the handoff could take place, and they've got to hold their ground. So it's a good way to play action fake as well.
Number 97 right there, Matt Wise making the initial contact on the play. Riddle wants to throw, and it's almost intercepted.
Oh,
Chris Covington almost had his second interception of the season.
Chris Covington read that one all the way. He's the center fielder. He's watching the quarterback's eyes. Gets the early jump. It's right there. Chris Covington is the returning top running back for Georgia Southern. They moved during the spring to the defensive side of the ball.
Riddle was looking for Mayers. Now a 32-yard field goal attempt, and it is good. Andrew Wilcox from 32 yards away. 3 more points for Elon. It is 10-6. Georgia Southern on top of the Phoenix. Oh. Back at Elon University, where Georgia Southern has a 10-6 lead over the Phoenix, who just posted a field goal to cut the deficit to 4. Our next Southern Conference game on Sports South is in 2 weeks. So join Sam Weich and me for a clash of tradition. SoCon Titans go at it. It's 2-time defending national champion Appalachian State making the trip to Greenville, South Carolina to take on Furman. That's October 27th, 3 o'clock, right here on Sports South. You don't want to miss that one. With Sam Weich
returning home,
and me. The scoring drive, the Ford bold moves. Carolina Ford dealers scoring drive resulted in a field goal for Elon. It was a 32-yard field goal from Andrew Wilcox. And that's a return up to the 30-yard line for Georgia Southern.
Well, that was outstanding coverage by Elon. They must have full 4 or 5 guys broke past their initial blockers. Here's Foster so far today. There's the fake going off the left side and then accelerating. Foster again off the left side on just a pure run. He scrambled it as well, but breaking again. Look at that move. The spin move at the end. That was just for fun. That was for show right there at the end.
Style points for Jason Foster.
He got him too.
10 rushes for 42 yards. Joe Haney had a 23-yard return on the kickoff, and it's 1st and 10. Georgia Southern just shy of its own 30-yard line. Foster with the football. Pursuit and a flag, and he's still on his feet. Finally dragged down. Durant Daniels finally put him on the turf, but let's check the penalty marker.
It's going to be a holding penalty against Georgia Southern, but they probably decline that one and just take the big loss and the down. If you take the penalty, you're going to repeat that down.
9-yard loss on the play.
Holding on the offense. Penalties refused. 2nd down.
There you go.
So that brings up 2nd and 19. Good choice with 7:27 to go here in the second quarter, and the Eagles in front 10-6 over the Phoenix.
Pete Limbo making that decision for Elon. There's a couple of interesting things since Limbo's been here. Some of the things that have happened here, the best finish since joining the SoCon last year, the best record since 2000, and ticket sales have gone up 47%. That's the important one.
The money is coming in. That's good. A short gain right there for Georgia Southern. Mike Hamilton on the carry, number 27. That's his first carry of the ball game.
Hey, pat on the back to both defensive units, defensive coordinators for putting this together today, because they have both done a good job of stopping offenses that are used to having, at this point in the game, at least 3 or 4 touchdowns going into the half.
3rd and 15, 6:44 to go in the second quarter. Jay Bateman is the defensive coordinator for Elon.
Go snap again.
He was an assistant with Coach Lembo at Lehigh. Foster doesn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. And it's 4th down for Georgia Southern.
The defense for Elon is what I call playing piano. The defensive linemen aren't trying to get penetration up the field. They're trying to move left and right and stay with the running back who is so elusive. What you do is you mimic what special teams guys do on their coverage. They try to make sure that there's no place to run outside, contain him, and then cover the inside.
Jordan with the punt. Sullivan from the 29. And up to about the 39-yard line for Sullivan. 5 minutes, 51 seconds to go. The Eagles lead the Phoenix 10-6. This is Southern Conference football on Sports South. A beautiful day for football in Elon, North Carolina, as the Phoenix trail Georgia Southern 10-6. Stick with Sports South tonight as the Atlanta Thrashers take on Martin Brodeur and the New Jersey Devils in exciting NHL action. That's tonight, 7 o'clock on Sports South.
That was very good. You had a little French going there.
Thank you. Martin Brodeur.
Yeah.
That good?
Oh, yeah. You want to talk like that.
And the kids are enjoying themselves as well. Great play right there by Brandon Jackson to get a hand in on that one, intended for Hudgens, incomplete.
Now, Brandon Jackson has made a couple of penalty mistakes in this one, the interference and the jumping off sides, but he is quick to react to the break. And what he's doing is he is taking those little short back pedal steps, and the first time that a receiver changes direction, he closes right now. Look for that little move and then going by him, trying to run by him.
2nd and 10 from the 40. Riddle rolls the pocket, now throws, and it's complete. Right on the money to Michael Mayers. Big pickup and a first down for the Phoenix into Georgia Southern territory.
The late Paul Brown used to say that some receivers have suck-em-up hands. That's what Michael Mayers has right there. Watch the way he reaches out in front of him to catch the ball out in front, all hands. And if you let the ball get up on top of your helmet right there, you lose sight of it right at the last instant. We'll get a good look at it here. See him reach out and receive the ball. Don't just catch it.
20 yards on the play. First down from the Georgia Southern 40. Riddle to throw again. He has an open man and a touchdown. Bo Williamson. 3rd touchdown catch of the season for Bo Williamson.
And I think that is exactly what we were talking about earlier. A little move and then go by the defender, Brandon Jackson. He's jumping on everything so quick. Scott Riddle made a little bit of a pump fake and then threw the ball deep. Bo Williamson with the speed once he got behind Brandon Jackson.
40 yards on the touchdown connection. Riddle to Williamson. The extra point is right down Broadway.
There you have it.
And the Phoenix have taken the lead 13-10 on the 15th touchdown pass of the season by Scott Riddle. 40 yards on the play, Coach.
And it is actually not going by Brandon Jackson that time. He was going by Carson Hill, but it was a little bit of a move. They had been jumping on everything quick, made a little bit of a fake, and then took off on the go pattern. And beautiful. With a lot of speed, you can do those kind of things. And Bo Williamson has that. Came into this game with only 11 receptions. That was a big one right there to add to that list.
The Ford Bold move scoring drive. 3 plays, 60 yards, just 35 seconds. Williamson with the 40-yard touchdown catch. And the Phoenix, it leads it 13-10 for head coach Pete Lembo.
They've been trailing this entire ball game. They've got a freshman, true freshman quarterback, and they just stayed in it, kept battling, kept with their game, or at least kind of got back to the game. I think they tried to see if they could feature the run a little more than they had been, and decided to go back to the passing game that's been so successful for them, and it's paying off.
Scott Riddle, the true freshman.
Scott Riddle, dad, Jimmy, played here years ago, back in the early 70s, back when you were, what?
Younger.
Yes, younger. Played linebacker here. It's All-American here at Elon. We'll get try to find him in the stands maybe later.
This kick goes into the end zone, and that is where it will stay. Andrew Wilcox booning it into the Georgia Southern end zone for a touchback.
This is what Eddie Riddle looked like.
Jimmy
Riddle
Riddle.
looked like.
Eddie's his other brother.
Eddie's other brother. And his other twin, Jimmy.
Look at the neck roll. I love the old school neck rolls and the spot-built spikes.
Hey, here's the key right here.
Shoes.
That's the way that's when you're cool. You put those hands down there just below the waistline.
Jimmy Riddle, 16 career interceptions, 4th in school history.
He was a great player here. He really was. We were having some fun with him, but he's awfully proud of his son right now. But he was a great player when he was in college.
And the ball again is on the turf. And Foster picks it up but goes nowhere. Cameron McGlenn made sure that Foster could only pounce on the football. It's yet another football on the turf for Georgia Southern, and that is becoming an issue.
Well, it is. You want the ball to be snapped at the waist or above the waist. It is tough when you've got to bend down and get it and look up, because it's a shotgun start, but he's still reading the defense, so he's got to take his eye off that ball. And if it's not in the right place, that one was. It's tough on him.
This is Lewis. Puts his shoulder down and gets beyond the 20-yard line.
You know, the other thing that's happening, Tom, when Jason Foster goes down to pick that ball up, sometimes he bends his knee and touches the ground as he is reaching for the ball. He's immediately down. That's the end of the play.
Urban Ragland forcing Lamar Lewis out of bounds. Get a great look at number 4, Jason Foster, 5'9", 164 pounds, the senior from Canton, Georgia. Career touchdowns for Foster, 44 rushing touchdowns, 12 passing, and 5 receiving. Remember, in 2005, he was the quarterback. In 2006, he led the team in receiving. Foster well short, couldn't generate anything.
Look at the reaction of not only the sideline, but the players on the field. Everybody swarming to the tackle. Keep him outside. Don't let him get out. See him fighting to make sure that the ball carrier has to go inside where the help is coming from. I'll end in a preposition on this sentence. And once he got there, I see 3 or 4 other guys in the frame right there. And then, of course, everybody started to celebrate. That's what they want. You got to surround that guy.
Corey Weaver was there. Chris Bland was also on the play. It's a punting situation for Georgia Southern. Sullivan, fair catch. Made successfully at his own 38-yard line. So great field position for the Phoenix.
With plenty of time left in the half, 3:49 left. They've still got 3 timeouts, as does Georgia Southern. Scott Riddle today, 4 for 7.
But that was early, and he has settled down nicely, Coach, going 6 of 9, 124 yards, and that touchdown score to Williamson.
Yep, I was reading that wrong. It took him a little while to settle down, and you could tell his motion was a little bit different than it is right now. He is really relaxed and feeling the offense.
Dante Taylor gets the carry on first down and gets 3, maybe 4.
Trying to slow down that rush.
Up to the 42-yard line. Just over 3.5 minutes to go here in the half. Take a look at the Southern Conference standings thus far this season. Wofford, an impressive 3-0, 5-1 overall. Wofford with the victory over the Citadel last week.
And they're playing out of conference today, so that'll stay the same.
Appalachian State is 5-1 overall. Its only loss coming to Wofford.
Ball just a little bit out of range, and the footing going down. That is, by the way, one of the best playing surfaces in the country, anywhere, at any level. It is a well-manicured fast track here at Elon. You can see that it almost looks like AstroTurf. When I first came into the stadium earlier this morning, I asked somebody, what's the surface? And he said, that, my friend, is grass.
Very well manicured. 2 for 8 on 3rd down for the Phoenix. Riddle has all day back there. Finally flushed, throws, and it's complete. Matt Leddy makes his first catch of the game and is good enough for a first down in the Georgia Southern territory. Give him 15 yards on the play. Matt Leddy, the sophomore from Havertown, Pennsylvania.
Well, the part of the team that made this happen was that offensive line giving him that much time, and then Leddy coming back to the ball. Every receiver is taught to always address the ball as it's in flight so that you don't let anybody cut in front of you.
9th catch of the season for Leddy. Here's another one, incomplete.
A little bit early that time for Terrell Hudgens. He wasn't quite ready. He was going by. They're trying to make that little nod move and go by. That's twice. Of course, the last time they did it, they hit the home run. This time the ball was out in front of the receiver.
Riddle is now 11 of 19 for 167 yards. He has passed for over 300 yards in each of his last 4 games.
They've got plenty of time with 2:44 left. The key there is they've still got all 3 timeouts. You really don't even need to use those until you get inside of a minute.
Riddle is the Southern Conference Offensive Player of the Week for his efforts against Western Carolina. Now he runs and kind of flips it forward, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Tim Applegate.
Oh, he wanted to go downfield so bad, but he could feel that the clock in his head was saying, my time is running out, and the time was running out. Clearly running out, and when you pitch it forward like that and you're running, the ball continues to float.
Look at Scott Riddle this season, 4th in the nation, 320.2 yards passing per game.
That is a lot of passes, and he's averaging completions 30 per ball game to get that many numbers up.
He's thrown for over 1,600 yards, and now he's going to try to run. Fakes it and runs it. And he's cut down just shy of the marker. Diedrich Bynum made the tackle.
Boy, this is
going to be very, very close, Coach.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to measure this to make the decision. Now, if it is short, the big decision belongs to Elon. Will they go for it on 4th down with very little time left? Pretty good decision right here, stepping up. Now, at that point, that pump right there freezes this defender, and that gave him a chance to make those extra yards.
So we'll get the chains as you look at number 16, the true freshman, Scott Riddle. 6 feet, 201 pounds. Against Western Carolina a week ago, 30 of 45 for 354 yards and 4 touchdowns. And can it get any closer than that? It is a first down.
Wow. Now we'll never know. Would he have gone for it on 4th down? If he goes for it on 4th down and they don't make it, they would have left over 2 minutes for Georgia Southern, starting at about the 35-yard line, 33-yard line. So that would have been a very, very big gamble, but at the same time, probably one he would have taken. I think they probably would have tried, even though the last time they went for the short yardage, remember, they fumbled the ball. The quarterback sneak didn't work on the quick snap.
7 rushes for Riddle for 34 yards. This time he looks to pass, steps up. There he goes. Riddle down to the 23, and that is close to another Phoenix first down.
Riddle scrambles, though. He's getting people that are open out into the flats. Didn't see who it was, but one of the running backs is open over here. And if he had before, obviously, he crossed the line of scrimmage, just pitched it out, I believe whoever that was, that mystery runner, would have picked up a lot of yards down the field.
Coach, I thought Jason Foster was the running quarterback in this game.
Well, see, this is the problem. You're thinking too much once again. Having all kinds of problems with you. We're going to have to do something about it. But
I need to take better direction from the Super Bowl coach.
Don't take it from me.
Riddle looking to the end zone, and it's just barely broken up. Diedrich Bynum made the play. Michael Myers was standing there waiting for the football. Looked like a sure 6, and then in came Bynum.
Bynum was not the starter, but Georgia Southern, play a lot of people. They are banged up a good bit on the field. Notice that little pump right there. The one thing you don't want to do is pump in the direction that you're going to end up throwing the ball, because as soon as you pump, everybody is breaking in that direction, and they're getting a step on the knockdown, which Bynum did that time. 2nd
and 10 from the 23 of Georgia Southern for the Phoenix. Riddle.
There you go.
Little dump off. Williamson to the 9. Bynum making the tackle, but it will be 1st and goal, and here come flags. 2 penalty markers come at the end of the play. The ball is being officially spotted at the 9-yard line, but let's wait and get the word from the referee.
This is why coaches don't have hair right here. This is the exact reason. Make a nice play like that. If this penalty is against Elon, it would negate the 1st down. Oh, it's going against Georgia Southern, however.
So if the ball's at the 9, it's going half the distance.
Well, if it happened after the whistle, it will be marked from there as opposed from the original line of scrimmage. And the flags were so late, it probably was. It is. They're going to move it from there half the distance to the goal.
So if my math is correct, it should be at the 4.5-yard line.
The play was over.
No hair.
Personal foul, number 28 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic 1st down.
And head coach Chris Hatcher is the youngest FCS football championship subdivision coach in the country at 34 years old.
And he's a good one, and will be a good one for a long time, but he ain't going to have any hair. That's going.
handoff does not yield much.
And the fans are wondering why are they doing that? Well, number one, they're expecting the pass rush. Elon was expecting Georgia Southern to come up the field. They were going to pop it in between. See if we can see the personal foul right at the top of the screen. Right there, you saw it. It's number 28. That was Covington that late after the play, a shot that he didn't need to take.
Second and goal for the Phoenix. Right to the goal line is Dante Taylor.
Elon still has 3. They take their first timeout. Elon still had 3 timeouts, so they're in plenty good shape to run or pass. There's 35.7 seconds left. This is a straight shot.
Timeout of the half.
Notice it's just pure man blocking. They're not pulling any guards. The line is setting as if they're going to throw the ball. When an offensive lineman stands up, his head pops up, it says pass to the defense. And as soon as they take their pass rush route, that's when the offensive lineman covers him up, pushes him on by.
So the ball at the 1-yard line, third down for the Phoenix as they use their first timeout. 35 seconds to go in the half.
And it's the down marker that's the problem, not the clock, because it's third down. If they don't make it, the decision, of course, is do they gamble and try to go for 7 or kick the field goal? Probably kick the field goal unless they're at the 1 inch. Williamson with 4 receptions. Hudgens with 4. Mayers with 2.
Williamson has the touchdown catch for Elon. A 40-yard connection with Riddle.
Now he gets the play after they set the defense. Plays called late.
Pitch, Taylor. Very close to the goal line. Hit by E.J. Webb, number 1, but he is short of the end zone.
He is going to be inside the 1.
And an immediate timeout by Elon. That'll be its second.
And this is an option, pure option. They're optioning off of the first defender to come up the field. And in that case, happened to be way in the backfield, which forced the runner. It was E.J. Webb forcing the pitch. And it forced the pitch man to have to circle wide. And that gave the other defenders time to get there to make that play short of the goal line. 29 seconds left, still 1 timeout. So it's, of course, they won't have to use that. If they kick a field goal right here, that's their decision. They take their 3. They lead 13-10 as it is. If they go for it, looking for numbers, they're going for it.
Here comes Riddle. Buckle up the chin strap for 4th down from inside the 1-yard line for the Phoenix. Elon has never beaten Georgia Southern in 7 previous meetings. Lost last year 28-21 in Statesboro, Georgia.
The shotgun.
4th down from the shotgun. The quick pitch forward, and it's a touchdown. Dante Taylor. Riddle, a little shovel forward to Taylor, and the Phoenix is in the end zone once again.
That's actually an option. Outside is a pitch. The shovel forward is a forward pass. That was a touchdown pass right there from Scott because it was forward. You don't have to throw it over your shoulder. You can throw it underneath. He's reading here, and then the throw up underneath is strictly a decision that the quarterback makes. If the defensive end closed, he would have pitched outside.
Extra point is good. 16th touchdown pass of the season for Scott Riddle.
Now watch, the quarterback's going to go here. The runner is going here. You've got another pitch man outside. Let's watch. He's looking outside. Doesn't like it. Goes back up inside. Man-to-man coverage. Man-to-man blocking. There's no guard pulling. And I will get another body in that hole. You want to give him just a crease. That's all he needed.
Scott Riddle, a well-deserved breather on the sideline after a rugged start. He has settled down nicely. The Carolina Ford bold moves. Carolina Ford dealer scoring drive, 13 plays, 62 yards, 3 minutes, 24 seconds. Taylor, coach says it's a 1-yard reception because of the shovel forward. So for Taylor, that is his 2nd career touchdown. Had his 1st of the season last week against Western Carolina.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if the ball is caught behind or beyond the line of scrimmage. It's still a forward pass. You know, every team will practice from the 1-yard line those what they call clutch plays. If we have to go for it, if it's maybe a 2-point conversion, what is the best play we've got? And I'm sure that was the play that they had practiced for that situation. There was no thinking about what do we do next. It's do we run it or pass it or do we kick it?
Very creative on the part of Elon, and offensive coordinator Warren Ruggiero in his 3rd year, spent 6 years at Custer prior to that.
Well, with 22 seconds, they're going to have some field position.
Yeah, incredible field position here on that situation. Jermaine Murphy, number 38, falling on that football.
And Georgia Southern has 3 timeouts remaining, so they can maneuver the ball, stop the clock. They're going to get 3 or 4 plays out of this thing. Potentially get in position at least for a field goal, if not score with a touchdown here right before the half. Boy, this could be a real change in momentum because Elon had the momentum up until that kick.
From the Elon 47. Foster whips it over the middle, and it's complete.
They're in field goal range right now.
Lynon Jefferson makes the catch.
Timeout with 15.8 seconds to go.
20 yards on the play. The 3rd catch of the season for Jefferson, who has 3 career touchdowns. And it's a timeout, Georgia Southern, with 16 seconds to go.
Looking at Jason Foster as we look at the setup and play. Now watch Jason after he throws the ball. This is Jason Foster, the quarterback. After he throws the ball, he's going to turn and find the referee who's standing back here and call timeout with that referee. Don't go running down where the ball is at the other end of the field. That wastes time. Just turn to the ref. He's standing about 3 yards from you and call timeout. Good job.
Chris Bland making the hit on Jefferson. 1st and 10 for Georgia Southern from the 26-yard line of the Phoenix. That is Chris Hatcher in his 1st season here, 4-1 as the Georgia Southern head coach. Foster elusive inside the 20. And Foster scampers out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. Boy, it looked like Elon had him for a loss, and Foster escapes for a 14-yard gain and a 1st down for Georgia Southern.
Yeah, this has got to be a quick shot as we watch Jason Foster scramble around and just basically make everyone readjust their undergarments there after that one. But and an injury on the field right here. We lost Elon.
That is Joey Hall, number 94.
Trying to tackle Jason Foster will do that to you. Sometimes you'll turn something, but with 5 seconds left now, Georgia Southern has to make the decision of kicking the field goal right now, which is what they're going to do. They would have had to throw something real quick to the outside or real quick to the end zone and hope that the clock didn't run out, because it's right down to the wire. If you've got about 7 seconds, you're okay for another play. 5 seconds, you're really marginal.
29-yard attempt from Hartley. Foster holds. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 2nd field goal of the half from Hartley.
The advantage of that kickoff being short or stopped short and then getting the field goal at the end now means that Georgia Southern is only 1 touchdown away for tying this game, which is a lot better coming out the second half if you're a Georgia Southern fan.
That is the end of the half. Jesse Hartley, his 2nd field goal of the game, 20-13. The Elon Phoenix with the lead over the Georgia Southern Eagles. Scott Riddle, 2 touchdown passes in the first half for the freshman, who now has 16 for his career. He is well over 1,600 yards for the season. Had a rough start, but settled in nicely. 2 scoring drives late in the half for the Elon Phoenix, who lead Georgia Southern 20-13. Keep in mind, Elon has never beaten Georgia Southern. 0-7 in the previous meetings with the Eagles.
Of course, today they're trying to do it with a freshman at quarterback, playing in his 6th game of this season. Opened the season against South Florida, who was number 5 in the nation. They lost that ball game, but were in it all the way. And then the only other loss they've got was against number 5 in the FCS, Appalachian State. So a great, outstanding start for Riddle.
We welcome in head coach Pete Lembo. And coach, a great surge there at the second half. What'd you change up to mix things up and get some points on the board?
Well, it's more so what we went back to than what we changed up. You know, we're struggling pass protection wise early, but a couple times there when we got time, we were able to connect downfield.
Coach, was Riddle a little bit nervous at the front end of this ball game? It looked like he was a little hesitant a couple of times.
Well, I think part of it is some of the pressure that they got on him, and we had some receivers make some mental mistakes, which didn't help matters. But I think we're settling down a little bit, Coach.
Yep, well, you look good. It'll be an exciting second half. Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks.
Head coach Pete Lembo in his second year here at Elon, and he owns a 7-point lead over Georgia Southern, the 21st ranked team in the nation. We're getting set for halftime here from Rhodes Stadium. Please stay with us.
You're watching Sports South.
Welcome back to Elon University. We have head coach of Georgia Southern, Chris Hatcher, with us. And coach, tell us about the first half here. You came out flying with the Lewis run, but the Phoenix have come back.
Well, they got a good football team. We knew coming on the road it was going to be a tough battle for us. We got to get some momentum established there on the offensive side of the ball. They pretty much have hemmed Jason in. We got to find a way to move the ball in other ways. It was a big break for us there at the end of the half to come out of there with an extra 3 points. So we got to do a good job there. I thought defensively, other than a couple plays there, they played pretty good to hold this high-powered offense to what they did there in the first half.
Coach Hatcher, thank you. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you, guys.
That is the head coach of Georgia Southern, Chris Hatcher, in just his first year, but he has turned the attitude around in Georgia Southern. He has a 4-1 record so far and 1-1 in the conference. But Pete Lembo's team taking the field with some confidence, leading at the half, coach.
Well, they should have confidence. They played well. But if I was Coach Hatcher, I would like to know if he had the centers in there snapping back there to Jason Foster, because that was their main problem in the first half, was the exchange, and not from the T formation, but from the shotgun with the ball being snapped low. And that was true with both Jesse Suarez, their starting center, and Cole Fountain, who went in to replace him at different times. They rotated back in there. Remember, they've had an injury. Dio Herrera is out, did not start at left guard. Pierce Giboney started in his place, number 77. And number 75, Brad Williams at left tackle. 66, Marcelo Estrada, and Russell Orr, 62, at the right tackle, are their regular starters. So
that is Jesse Suarez, their coach. And let's take a look at the quarterback comparison after 30 minutes.
13 for 23 for Scott Riddle, 2 for 5. Now that's about the right ratio. They're used to throwing about that many passes, 182 yards versus 20. Jason Foster really is a better passer than that. His completion percentage is over 70%. Remember, he's #1 in the Southern Conference in completion percentage. And #2, right behind him, almost there, is Scott Riddle.
Carlos Sullivan and Michael Mayers are deep as Elon receives the second half kick. This is Mayers, #1. And he tumbles down just across the 25. Spot him at the 26, 1st and 10 for the Elon Phoenix, who lead it 20-13 over Georgia Southern as we get started here in the second half. And there is a flag down on the play.
Offside on the kickoff. When you get those guys starting the run, you can take the penalty now at the end of this run, or you can mark off 5 yards and make them kick it again. Let's see what the decision is.
Offsides on the kicking team. Elon elects to have 5 yards added to the end of the run.
So move the ball up to the 36-yard line.
Yep. And that's a good rule, to have the decision. You know, you didn't commit a mistake. Why should you have to go back and kick the ball over again and maybe not get as good a field position as you have right here? Once again, no huddle.
Little backpedals and gets it away. This is Taylor. And he's cut down at the 40. Diedrich Bynum came up to make the stop, but it's a 9-yard gain on 1st down for the Phoenix, just shy of its own 40-yard line.
You know, it's a chess game here, and that was a good guess by Elon. They had the blitz coming from Elon's left, offensive left side. They threw the screen to the right side. The perfect call, man-to-man coverage, and everybody's coming after the quarterback, and nice game.
2nd and 1 for Scott Riddle and the Phoenix. after the 9-yard pickup. Taylor, who gets the call here on second down, has a first down, busts into the secondary, and he's close to midfield. Again, Bynum tripped him up, but that's a first down for the Phoenix. Busting out of the locker room and driving the football coach.
Watch him kind of hide in here and then sneak back inside. Oh, what a great move that is right there. You know, when you're 5'9", 185, you can get down underneath those linemen sometimes and come out of the clouds.
Yeah, and that's a true freshman rushing there from Eureka, North Carolina. 5'9", 185-pounder Dante Taylor, number 30. He remains in the game. Riddle, a pump fake and a throw. Hudgens, too strong for Hudgens. Covington on the coverage.
That was a little pump fake they tried and scored on to Bo Williamson earlier in the ball game, the first half. The sun is becoming a factor right up here. Now watch, he's going to make a little move, and you'll see the quarterback make a pump fake. There's the move in and then back out. The corners are jumping on that first inside move, that little 3-step move. Safety came over. Notice the safety wasn't able to even look up at this. Covington didn't even look back. I think the sun is a factor in that corner of the field to the offensive left. You see the line of the shade right there on the field. It sets behind us here on the score on the side.
Riddle, Hudgens stopped short, made the catch, and slaps his man out of bounds. First down to the 25 of Georgia Southern.
And that may have looked like a poor throw that was recovered. You like the slap down, huh?
Man, that is some aggressive football right there from Hudgens.
That is a design play, though. You underthrow the go pattern, and the receiver, as he's running, his shoulders are square. He knows about when the ball is going to come. Now there's a slap away. And poor old Brandon Jackson, who had a couple penalties in the first half, gets punished in the second half for it.
26 yards on the play. You can see Riddle shielding his eyes as he looks toward the sideline for the play from the coaching staff.
Receivers adjust their splits.
Riddle throws on the run. Hudgens can't come up with it. Broken up by Brandon Jackson. No flag on the play.
Now both guys were fighting off for that ball right there. Both of them are still trying to get back. But that flag that's on the field is not down there where the pass ended up. In fact, I don't see a flag down there. I think that was something other than a flag. That continuing play. Just watch the end of the play. Both of them kind of fighting for position. Both heads were back towards the ball. No penalty.
Hudgens second in the nation in receiving, 126.2 yards per game. 8 catches last week in the victory over Western Carolina, 38-36 for Elon. Riddle steps up, throws to the end zone. Hudgens had it bounce right off his hands. Again, it was the matchup against Brandon Jackson. He had a little bit of space, but couldn't haul it in.
Well, they've gone down the field now 3 straight times trying to throw the ball deep. As a quarterback coach, former quarterback coach, I used to tell my quarterback, if there's nothing down the field, let your eyes drop and throw to somebody underneath. That ball was almost complete, just a little more air under that one, and Brandon Jackson would not have been able to knock it away. Jackson is a good, quick, he's pretty much their bell cow on the defense and man-to-man coverage over there.
3rd and 10 for the Phoenix. They are 4 of 11 on 3rd down as Riddle wants to throw. Over the middle, incomplete, looking for Michael Mayers. The pass was high and behind him, and 4th down upcoming for Elon.
That one really never developed down the field. There was just enough rerouting of the receiver. They were chucked at the line of scrimmage, and they couldn't get their clean release.
This is a 41-yard attempt from Andrew Wilcox, who is 2 for 2 in the game. A 48-yarder in the first quarter, a 32-yarder in the second quarter. He's now 7 of 12 so far this season. This one from 42.
He didn't get all of that one.
Is good. He got enough of it.
He got enough, but that one didn't come off like those others, but a good kick.
A 42-yard field goal here for the Phoenix, scoring on its first drive of the second half. We're back on Sports South right after this. Southern Conference football on Sports South is brought to you by Carolina Ford, where bold moves happen every day. By BB&T, there's opportunity there. And by Food Lion, good neighbors, great prices. We are at Rhodes Stadium, McKinnon Field in Elon, North Carolina, where the Phoenix has a 23-13 lead over the 21st ranked team in the nation, Georgia Southern. Here is your Ford bold moves. Carolina Ford dealers scoring drive, 8 plays, 45 yards, a minute 40. Wilcox, the 41-yard field goal, officially his 3rd of the game. Tom Wormy along with Sam White, Southern Conference football here on Sports South. As Elon kicks it away. And a return up to the 25 for Georgia Southern. Tim Camp on the return for the Eagles.
Here are leaders for the Georgia Southern outfit here. Jason Foster, 15 carries. He's used to carrying the ball that much, but only 50 yards, way under his average. Lamar Lewis, of course, had the big run earlier in the second half, and Chris Steele, 4 carries for 19 yards. Those are the guys that usually carry the load for Georgia Southern, and just not getting as many yards as they're used to.
Lamar Lewis, a 55-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. Here goes Jason Foster for a couple. Foster averages 176.4 yards per game. That is 1st in the conference, 4th in the nation. His big game of the season came against Coastal Carolina. 253 yards rushing and a SoCon record 6 touchdowns. He is 1st in the conference in all-purpose yardage per game with 192. There is not much Jason Foster does not do.
Well, he does it well, and he does it consistently. They had a little problem early in the game with the snap. That seems to have been corrected here in the second half.
Lewis is stopped. 94, Joey Hall, who had to leave the game earlier, was shaken up, is back in there and makes the tackle against Lamar Lewis.
Georgia Southern is staying with their routine. Elon staying with their routine. And what I mean by that is Elon's a passing team. Georgia Southern's a running team. First half, they tried to mix that up a little more than they are in the second half.
Georgia Southern 1 for 7 on 3rd down. Foster caught in the pocket, falls in on him. Urban Ragland, number 2, celebrating that sack.
One of their co-captains and a defensive back coming from the outside over here on the backside. There he comes. He closes. He really doesn't get there before the interior line gets there. And it takes care of him.
Andre Campbell, 95, in there on the play. Yeah. So give Campbell his 1st sack of the season.
That was their first pass attempt in that drive, and it didn't work.
Sullivan backtracking, gets ahead of steam at the 20. Taken down.
Big push in the back by Elon.
Ronnie Wiggins made the tackle, but there are flags all over the field.
That one was too much. That was wide, right in the wide open spaces out there where everybody could see it, right at the ball. You can't push from the back. Even you can't obviously hit from below the waist anytime on a change of possession play, but you can't push in the back either, even if you're above the waist.
Indication from our referee, Gerald Trexler.
Illegal block in the back on the return team, number 47. 10 yards from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
You're looking right at the illegal block right here, just as you see it coming right at the ball. Right there's the shot. That's
Travis
illegal.
Green. Travis Green on the illegal block. We're coming right back. It's the Phoenix on top of the Eagles, 23-13 here in the second half from Rhodes Stadium and McKinnon Field.
Georgia Southern showing blitz. Quarterback stands up, looks to the sideline. Now he's getting the play. He will tell the team right now the clock was running down, so they call timeout. Boy, in a close game, you don't want to give up those timeouts early.
Take a look at the Southern Conference scoreboard in today's games. Wofford all over Gardner-Webb, 52-17. Wofford now 6-1 on the season. Furman has just scored just over 3 minutes to go in this one at the Citadel, and it's 48-45. Furman looking for its first conference win, and Western Carolina and Chattanooga will kick it off at 6 o'clock.
You know, with 3 minutes to go there at Furman, 48-45, I always think about the people that are out in the parking lot that wanted to get a little bit of an early start home. How about those guys?
They're missing a thrilling finish at the Citadel if they left. Sam Weitz, of course, the former walk-on quarterback at Furman University. And there was a problem with the snap. Now, Riddle was not even looking. He was looking at the sideline, and the ball came out.
Okay, on this particular offense, the quarterback will have a different cadence telling the center and the team that he's going to have a second start. In other words, he's going to get the play. There he is looking. The center assumed or misunderstood and thought it was on the first count. And that's when the ball was snapped. Not only was it snapped early, it was snapped poorly.
2nd and 14. Riddle rolls. Throws on the run. Covington the interception. Covington makes a move at the 25. And he'll be dragged down right at about the 15.
That time Scott Riddle just had a poor decision. He had some receivers open short, but he went long into coverage. Covington is right there, and he's reading the quarterback. See, all these guys are open short. He decides to throw it over the top. Covington's waiting, reading the quarterback. When the quarterback breaks contain like that, everyone flows to that side. The field is actually cut in half in terms of the number of defenders that are around the ball. Now the main thing is, if you're a Georgia Southern fan, is hold on to that ball. Don't fumble it after the interception.
2nd interception of the season for Covington, coach. Lewis tried to make a move with the line, was stopped by Jordan Gibson, number 93, a true freshman from Thomasville, North Carolina.
Gibson made a beautiful play because he was one-on-one in the open field with Lamar Lewis. Remember earlier in the first half, Lamar Lewis was the key to breaking it for the long run to break the game open, because it was almost a stalemate, defense against defense, until he got that long run in the first half. The matchup went in favor of Elon that time.
Lamar Lewis with 8 carries for 88 yards in the game. Foster takes off and rambles down to the 10, maybe just inside the 10-yard line. So that'll bring up 3rd down for Georgia Southern, which can get a 1st down by gaining about the 5-yard line.
Elon is doing a terrific job defensively of containing the quarterback. The defensive ends are coming way up the field, pushing everybody, their blocker, as well as pushing the running back, whoever it happens to be, Foster in that case, to the inside. That's where all the help is for Elon.
Georgia Southern is 86% in the red zone. And that pass is complete.
No, they're going to get a favorable spot. No, they're not.
Yes.
I thought they were getting a spot way up inside the 5, but it's just outside the 5, almost pass interference.
Joe Haney, coach, making the grab.
Much Haney is here's the roll. This is a tough throw going to your left for a right-handed quarterback. Haney makes the catch. Carlos Sullivan, I thought, hit him a little bit early, but he still made the catch.
It is 4th and short for Georgia Southern. Just beyond the Elon 5, and Foster tries to forge forward, and he will get the 1st down.
Well, that is just pure drive and staying with it, because initially there was no movement, but Georgia Southern kept moving their feet, and eventually Elon gave in a little bit, and they got the 1st down.
1st and goal for Georgia Southern. That is head coach Chris Hatcher, his 1st year with the program. Hatcher in 2004 won a national championship with Valdosta State and was the coach of the year. 35 straight wins during the regular season from 2001 to 2002 with Hatcher as the head coach at Valdosta.
Well, I'll tell you what, there are 2 outstanding coaches in this field, and they're young, and they are molding their teams right now just the way they want it. I'm going to get a little question from the official right here, but I just want to remind us that the last score of the first half, I think, was scored because of a mistake. The kick was short, gave them field position. They got a field goal. And here another mistake, this time by Scott Riddle, forcing the ball into coverage. So Georgia Southern has gotten back into this game because of errors made on the Elon side of the ball.
Georgia Southern in the football championship subdivision. Since 1999, it has 80 wins. That is tied for 2nd with Appalachian State and Montana, which is 1st. 80 wins. And Chris Hatcher trying to continue that tradition, which boasts 6 national championships in 1AA, now football championship subdivision, and 8 Southern Conference championships, including 6 in a row from 1997 to 2002.
Well, and he's got plenty of time to do it because the scoreboard shows 84 minutes and 9 seconds remaining.
Boy,
now they got it straight. It's 8 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Last year, these teams played in Statesboro, Georgia, a 28-21 victory for Georgia Southern, one of 3 wins on the season. They have already surpassed their win total of last year, a 4-1 record, 1-1 in the conference, and 1-0 on the road. Beat South Dakota State last week, 41-38 on the Jesse Hartley field goal.
You're going to change your quarterback now.
That is Billy Lowe, a freshman from Lakeland, Florida, taking the snap on 1st and goal.
And I don't know if there's something wrong there. Oh, here he comes back. Jason Foster's now coming back into the ball game. Looks like he's okay. I don't know if he may have had an equipment problem, maybe. But their reasoning for putting in Billy Lowe on that particular crucial play, I don't know what it was.
Foster will run to the goal line. Second effort, and he is in. Jason Foster is all heart and power. He's into the end zone. His 15th rushing touchdown of the season, Coach.
I'd say second, third, and fourth effort. That was incredible. The defender across from him may outweigh him 100 pounds. He kept fighting and pushing and twisting. Watch at the end of this, after the contact right there. This play is almost over. Had the knee touched right there, it would have been over. His knee didn't quite go to the ground. And the second effort paid off.
Extra point from Hartley. There's a little bit left, but good enough. And Jason Foster add another touchdown. He has 45 career rushing touchdowns. It's now a 3-point game. The Eagles trail the Phoenix 23-20. Jason Foster goes in the end zone from 3 yards out for the Georgia Southern touchdown, the second one of the ball game. Makes it a 23-20 game. The scoring drive presented by your Carolina Ford dealers and their bold moves. 6 plays, 15 yards, 2 minutes, 34 seconds. Jason Foster on the touchdown carry for Foster. He's in the end zone for the 15th time this season on the ground. Hartley boots it away. Mayers from the 3. To about the 23.
Now let's take a look at that touchdown run one more time, because I mentioned that if his knee touched, it would not have been a touchdown. The ball is obviously down when the knee goes down. Let's see if we can see. Watch his knee right there. It looks to me like the knee is down and he has not scored. Now the second effort, so he's coming back up, and now the second effort for the touchdown. So that one not reviewable.
Did the ball ever cross the goal line?
It really looks like it. Marginal on that call as well, but the official down the line can see that pretty well. But the knee being down may have missed that one.
It was Chris Bland who stood up Foster and wrestled him for the football, but the officials award Foster the touchdown.
And the line judge is standing right on the goal line. He's looking straight down. So if it breaks the plane, if the ball breaks the plane to the goal line, it's a touchdown. The knee being down would be the question there, but if it's not called, it's not down.
How about this game at the Citadel where we were last week, Coach? 48-all, just a minute to go in the football game at the Citadel.
Now I'm really nervous about those people in the parking lot.
Really? That's a former Furman quarterback talking. Hudgens cannot reach it, but a flag comes out, and there's that matchup. Jackson and Hudgens, but look at Hudgens. He is still down, shaken up on the play, Coach.
Yeah. Jackson is going to get called for the penalty, though. He reached out and tackled Hudgens on that play. You know, when you do that, you kind of come down the back of the ankle sometimes, and you can do anything from the ankle to the knee to kind of pop the hip joint out. Remember Bo Jackson going down the sideline against the Cincinnati Bengals and got caught from the side that way. Here's the reach, full extension, and I don't think he fell on him. I think he just fell hard.
Pass interference on the defense, number 2, 15 yards, previous spot, automatic first down.
For everybody watching, used to watching the NFL, it's not marked where the penalty took place. In college ball, it's marked either at the point of the foul or 15 yards, whichever is less. So they wouldn't give you more than 15 yards. But if the foul was, say, 5 yards down the field, you'd only get those 5 yards out of it. But this one's going to be a 15-yarder in good position now for Elon.
Terrell Hudgens with 5 catches for 49 yards in the game. This is Riddle from the shotgun. Riddle still has it. Rolls and throws, and it's intercepted. Carson Hill comes up with the pick, his second of the season.
Georgia Southern continues to take the momentum away, not only the momentum, but close the gap, the scoring gap on Elon. Scott Riddle looks this one in and just a little too long, and when you go to your left, it takes longer to release the ball. The windup is longer, and it gives the defender a little bit more of a chance to break on the ball. That's what happens right there. Beautiful. Just perfect Carson Hill.
Second career interception for Hill. Now last week, with 31 seconds left in the game against South Dakota State, he made the interception that set up the game-winning field goal from Jesse Hartley. Late in the game, just 31 seconds to go, and Hill had the interception. This is Teal, still on his feet to the 20, and steps out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Chris Teal on the carry for Georgia Southern. And a 23-yard pickup for Teal.
Lamar Lewis, Chris Teal, of course the quarterback Jason Foster, a lot of weapons on the ground. Good officiating there at the end. It looked like there might have been a late hit after it wasn't a late hit because Teal wasn't showing that he was out of bounds for sure.
Number 5 gets the call again, tiptoes the sideline, and they'll mark him out of bounds right at about the 5-yard line.
Georgia Southern that time, after a long run, you get a winded defense. They go right to the line in a quick count. You know, if you're in condition, you measure conditioning by how fast you recover. You're going to get winded. A sprinter will get winded after a 100-yard dash. But it is how fast you recover. 27 offensive plays of 20 yards or more coming into this ball game for Georgia Southern. They're used to the big plays.
And Jason Foster by himself has 10 runs of 50 yards or more in his career.
All of them capable of breaking it for the distance because they've got speed. Speed is the difference maker in the game because you've got to take the right angles defensively or speed will beat you. Second down.
Teal, and he's swarmed under.
That time the defense caused Teal to have to hesitate. Anytime you hesitate, you are wrong in football. There is no advantage to waiting. Georgia Southern staying right at the line of scrimmage. They know they've got a little bit of a winded defense on the field, and they don't. You can tell because the defense has their hands on their hips. When you see those big linemen with their hands on their hips, that means they're winded. We caught them a little bit after they were getting ready to line up again, but motion out of the backfield.
3rd and goal from the 5. Foster cut off at the pass and then has to throw it away. Cameron McGlenn got in the way there and forced Foster to throw that one out of bounds.
Smart throw, though, by Foster. He wasn't going to escape that time, and he knew it, so he got rid of it. With a fake across, and then Foster's going to go outside. Here's the guy that's not going to let it happen. Beautiful. He knows he's stopped right there because here comes help. Get rid of that ball. Chance to tie it right here.
22-yard attempt from Jesse Hartley, who has already connected on 2 field goals, one from 29, one from 49 yards, both coming in the second quarter. 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Georgia Southern trying to score on its 2nd consecutive possession here in the second half. Jason Foster took it in from 3 yards out in the last possession. Hartley trying to add 3 more from 22 yards away. And that is good. Hartley now 10 of 12 on the season. His 3rd field goal of the football game. That from 22 yards out.
Just to kind of recap what has happened here, Elon went in at the half. Looked like they were going to go in with a lot of momentum after a big touchdown to Bo Williamson late in the second quarter. The ensuing kickoff was tried to squib it and was knocked down at the front line, and they got the ball at midfield. It wasn't an onside kick, and they scored late, and they've been in control since.
2007-2008 celebrates the 25th anniversary of women's championships in the Southern Conference. For more information, visit www.soconsports.com. So we're all tied up at 23 after the 22-yard field goal from Jesse Hartley, who was perfect on the day. 3 for 3, 9 of 12 on the season. Your Carolina Ford dealers' bold move scoring drive, 6 plays, 34 yards, a minute 48, capped by the field goal from Hartley.
Hartley's having a big year, and a lot of those field goals are they're not chip shots. That one was, but he's made some long ones along the way this year.
Made his career long 54-yarder against South Dakota State with no time left on the clock in the victory last week, 41-38. Jesse Hartley connecting from 54 yards. He was the National Player of the Week and the Special Teams Player of the Week in the Southern Conference for his efforts in that victory over South Dakota State, a game in which Georgia Southern led 31-7 at the half. Sullivan tripped at the 25. The ball comes loose. Bynum tripped him up. The ball came out. Bynum recovered it. But was he down?
The side judge, the line judge, is calling him down by contact. The ground cannot cause the fumble. First down for Elon. Or this is it's a game of inches and a game of split seconds too, because big ball comes out a split second sooner. That piece clearly down though. That's a good play. Got a good close-up shot. Let's see when he goes down, possession until he hits the ground. I think that's a good call.
Riddle complete. That's Letty.
The pass is complete to number 87.
Georgia Southern playing not a soft zone, but a loose zone, making sure they keep everything in front of them. They've been playing that man-to-man, and Elon was running that little slant step and go and trying to get deep on him. And Elon is adjusted by throwing the ball underneath.
Look at Riddle, 2 interceptions in the last 5 pass attempts, and he's pressured. Taylor. And he's brought down immediately. That's Brandon Jackson, number 2 for the Eagles.
Brandon Jackson made a terrific play there because there was a whole line of offensive linemen for Elon to lead the way, and Brandon Jackson just slipped in between all of them. Watch when you go to the left. Look at all these linemen there. Right there, you see all of those guys. Brandon comes out of nowhere. Everybody's standing looking for someone to block, and it's too late.
The junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, on the stop. He has 5 career interceptions. Had 5 all coming last year in 2006. And that is just short of a first down for Elon. Just a few chain links, and we are going to overtime at the Citadel.
Wow.
48-48, Furman and the Bulldogs from the Citadel.
I bet they've got the IV units out for that one. We were there last week, of course. Remember, it was extremely hot. And a 48-48 shootout with Furman having a big lead early in that ball game. Citadel came back, tied it up, took the lead. Furman had to come back and tie it up 48.
Wofford beating the Citadel last week, 28-7. Riddle has it. He's got a first down and more.
Now that's a smart quarterback making a smart decision for his team, and that is just dig a hole once you get the first down. Don't take a hit, potentially take yourself out of the ball game. Team's depending on you. You've been the one getting all the practice snaps all week. Make the first down and go again.
This is Southern Conference football here on Sports South from Elon University Road Stadium. Tom Worley along with Sam White, former SoCon quarterback and Super Bowl coach. And Riddle decides to take it out of bounds, forced out by Beard, number 55.
And looking from the other sideline, wanting a late hit on that one, but Riddle is actually running right down the sideline. You can't just let him continue to make that extra yard. You got to take your shot. It's going to end right on the sideline. Look at Larry Beard. Here he comes. There's the pull. That's a clean hit. He didn't club him. Didn't grab him by the collar. No huddle Riddle again. Under center this time, no shotgun.
In the game against Liberty, Riddle threw for a career-high 368 yards, 4 touchdown passes, and 2 rushing. Now he wants to go deep. Williamson makes the grab at the 11. No, incomplete. The official rules it incomplete. Bo Williamson thought he had the catch in the pass from Riddle, but it is ruled incomplete.
You know what I like about that play, though, was the reaction of Bo Williamson after the catch. Also like your reaction up here in the booth. You're extremely animated, by the way.
This is great college football. Look at this play here, Coach.
There's an outstanding attempt. The ball does touch. Now watch Bo Williamson. He's going to jump up like, I got it. I made it. That's what you want to do, is see if you can sell that official in the idea that you think you made the catch.
Bo Williamson has 4 grabs in the game for 98 yards and a touchdown. 40-yard strike from Riddle in the first half. Elon had a 20-13 lead after the first 30 minutes. We're all tied at 23 at this point, and that one sails over the head of Michael Mayers.
Little miscue on that one. Michael Mayers was supposed to make an inside move and then go, or an outside move and then go up the sideline, and he knew that the corner didn't bite on it. He broke it off. Of course, he didn't tell Scott Riddle he was going to break it off. That's why the ball sailed over his head, and it's 4th down.
Riddle now 17 of 35. And those 2 interceptions. He's thrown for 227 yards in the game.
Very unusual punt formation continues. Resulted in a roughing of the kicker in the first half.
Foster is the deep man. He'll let it roll and go out of bounds at about the 8-yard line.
That's what you want. No return, no chance of return, and back him up.
Especially from a guy like Jason Foster, who is dangerous whenever he touches the football. And take a look at his numbers as he has progressed through the season. They have tightened up the defense against him in the Western Carolina and South Dakota State game, but then he does it with his arm.
Yeah, in the latter part of the last 2 games, he's been throwing the ball, still getting almost 100 yards on the ground. But in the early part of the season, he's getting over 200 yards on the ground and throwing the ball for a lot less. Capable of doing either one. Elon has done a good job of containing him overall today.
60 yards on 20 rushes for Foster, and that 1 touchdown on the 2nd and 3rd effort near the goal line. Lewis right up the middle, has some running room into the secondary. That's a 1st down for Georgia Southern. Taken down by Walker White, number 49 for the Elon Phoenix.
Also helping on that tackle was the umpire. I'm one of the people that proposes that the umpire should stand behind the offensive side of the ball and get out of the way. But right there, freeze it right there, you can see the umpire is trying to get out of the way. Well, what he's doing is he's forcing that ball carrier to wait on the umpire's decision on where he's going to go, and got caught from behind.
15 yards on the play for Lamar Lewis, who has gone over 100 yards in the game.
On the carry,
Mike Hamilton gets the call.
Mike Hamilton.
Georgia Southern is a steady as you go kind of an offense, but they've got talent, the ball carriers. They can make that steady as you go break at any moment, and you've got, as a defense, you've got to play team defense and gang tackle on every snap, and that's what Elon has done up to this point. But when you start getting tired, sometimes that last guy doesn't get there, and that's when the big play happens. 7
yards for Hamilton, who is a transfer from Oklahoma State. Foster throws. Incomplete. A little bit too strong for his receiver. Looking for Teal.
For number 5, Chris Teal.
Man coverage. It was just straight up the sideline. And as you said, just too much arm under that one. And a quarterback wants to try, if he can, to leave the ball in the air long enough to let the receiver make him look good. He can slow down and box out that defender and still make the catch if it's a little bit underthrown, but he can't go get it if it's too far.
Georgia Southern just 1 for 10 on 3rd down. Call it 3rd and 3. 2 minutes, 14 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Foster out of the shotgun. Teal. He appears to have enough for a 1st down.
Teal made a nice run on that, a nice power run at the end, because he knew he had about a yard to go, but he had a chance to cut back. Slow getting up is Teal. Watch right here. There's an opening right in here, but he doesn't take it. He powers right there because it's third down. He wanted to make sure he got that first down.
Fresh set of downs for Georgia Southern. Now Foster looking to the sidelines. Play clock was down to 6. Hand off to Teal. Spins off one man. Picks up a couple of yards on the play.
You can tell the difference of the option versus just a straight handoff running play by watching the head of the quarterback. If the quarterback is reading a defensive player, his head is looking downfield, it's usually an option. If it's starting to fake and starting to simulate the bootleg, just watch his head right here. See, he's looking over here. He's not looking to read anyone on this side of the field. He's fixing to carry out the fake, which he does. I'll just leave marks all over the screen there for you.
2nd and 7 as the Eagles dodge the marks on the screen. Here comes Foster up the middle.
He's a strong runner, Tom. I tell you what, for a fellow that says he's 164 pounds, that is a powerful pound-for-pound guy.
He's up to the 45-yard line, a 5-yard gain. Will bring up 3rd and 1 for Georgia Southern as the clock continues to tick. 43 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. We are tied at 23. Foster will do it himself. Does he have enough?
It looks like he does. At least at the top of the official at the top looks like he's marked it for a first.
It is a first down for Georgia Southern with 33.4, actually 31 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter, and we get a stoppage in play.
Got an injury on the field.
Elon player is on the ground.
You know, the other thing that happens when you start getting tired, the injury ratio goes up because you're not defending yourself as well. You're trained to take a blow and to deliver a punch, and you're also trained to fall correctly. But when you're really fatigued, you don't do all of those things, and the injuries happen more often. And late in the ball game, unfortunately, is when a lot of injuries happen. That, along with dehydration, where you're not really getting those fluids back in you.
It's Eric Ludwig, number 60, who is now up and being helped off the field by the training staff from Elon University.
There he is.
In the Southern Conference, the final score, Wofford has defeated
It's at the bottom of the screen. I don't see any real, it certainly wasn't twisted. That knee wasn't twisted or hit at an odd angle, so that one may be the result of just either a cramp or a funny fall on that knee. Just need to walk it off.
We just got word Citadel has defeated Furman 51-48 in a thriller in Charleston, South Carolina. There goes Hamilton. And he steps out of bounds just shy of the 30-yard line. Mike Hamilton, now against the University of Tennessee Chattanooga, had the game-tying touchdown run with 1:17 left. But in that game, Georgia Southern went on to lose to UTC 45-38 in OT.
What's this? The block right out in front of him. Running backs don't need for you to tell them where they're going to block. They will run off of the block.
23-yard gain. Here's Teal. And that's a lot shorter than 23 yards as he's forced out of bounds.
That was Ragland that time that hit him, and good solid hit. I mean, once you make contact, a defensive back weighs about 185, 183 pounds officially. But good solid. Here's the score. The Furman Paladins losing 54-51. Apparently there was in the overtime session there, both of them kicked field goals because the final was 48-48.
We have a discrepancy in scores, but either way, both times the Citadel has pulled out the victory against the Furman Paladins. Trailing big early. Incomplete, looking into the end zone. Joe Haney got a hand on it but couldn't haul it in against double coverage.
Jason Foster got hit and hit good just as he released that ball. Quarterbacks take a lot of hits after the camera goes. You see he gets hit in the back. Didn't look as bad in that hit right there, but he got hit pretty solid. Good throw.
That is the end of the third quarter. As we head to the fourth quarter here in Elon, North Carolina, we are all tied up at 23. Georgia Southern and Elon. Elon had the 7-point halftime lead, but Georgia Southern has come back to tie this one up at 23. The final 15 minutes on Sports South is next. Southern Conference football on Sports South is brought to you by Carolina Ford, where bold moves happen every day. By BB&T, there's opportunity there. By Food Lion, good neighbors, great prices. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And there is opportunity here for Georgia Southern. This game all tied up at 23, but the Eagles on the move from the Elon 30-yard line. 3rd and 10. Teal. Ridden out of bounds.
On the carry, number 5, Chris Teal.
Teal once again just trying to use pure speed to get outside.
Chased out of bounds by the Phoenix, number 5.
This would be about a 40-yard field goal. Where's the ball? No, it's going to be about a 44 or 43-yard field goal.
43-yard attempt for Hartley. Foster to hold. Hartley has connected on 3 field goals so far in the game. This from 43. And this time it is no good.
Just pulled it a little bit to the left. When we were talking earlier, the soccer-style guys tend to hook it when they don't catch it just right. And that's what happened that time. Pulled it to the left. 3 for 4, though, today.
First miss of the game for Hartley, who has connected from 22, 29, and 49 yards. 2 in the second quarter, and these were the heroics last week from Jesse Hartley. The game winner with no time left on the clock, a career-long 54-yard field goal to beat South Dakota State 41-38, named Special Teams Player of the Week in the Southern Conference for obvious reasons after those last-minute heroics, last-second heroics from Hartley. Riddle wrapped up and brought to the turf. Sack for Georgia Southern. That is David Lewis, number 53 on the play.
And once again, just staying home, playing your team defense, faking the dive, faking the reverse. No one fooled on the other side of the ball. Lewis. David Lewis, a linebacker, he was on the blitz that time and read it all the way.
4th sack of the game for the Eagles. First of the season for Lewis. Riddle gets this one away. It's complete. Williamson just barely tripped up. Had some room in front of him. Number 23, Ronnie Wiggins, grabbed him by the shoelace, or else Williamson had some room to run.
And they're going to bring a guy across. You know, they've been throwing the ball down the field so much that they've softened. All right, freeze it right there. You see all the rushers. They're up in here. The defenders are way back here, and you got a couple guys here. But there's the hole right in the middle, and here's the release. Once again, the umpires very helpful for the offense.
3rd and 15 from the 20 for Elon. Beard at his ankles, and Beard gets him to the turf. Larry Beard, 2nd sack of the game, 3rd of the season for the junior from Fairburn, Georgia.
Chris Worden is just having a tough time on the left side over here at left tackle with Larry Beard. You see, once the offensive tackle turns his shoulders, rotates his shoulders, he's beaten. He's got to keep retreating and keeping the same angle to block an upfield rusher like that. And Beard has just gotten too quick.
9-yard loss on the play. Lane to kick it from his end zone. Jason Foster awaits. From his own 47. Foster will try to return it, but unsuccessfully. Cameron McGlenn made the play on special teams to stop Foster. So Jason Foster stops short on the return, but he brings his offense back on the field with great field position. 12:48 to go in the football game, tied at 23. That is Chris Hatcher, the head coach of Georgia Southern. His team in a tie ball game with the Elon Phoenix. Hatcher is the youngest coach in the football championship subdivision in his first year. 34 years old, 37-year-old Pete Lembo across the field.
And you see every other coach in the Southern Conference has been at their school longer. These are the two most recent additions in the Southern Conference.
Teal. And Teal gets near midfield on the first down carry.
So we look at that scoreboard. It shows that Elon has 2 timeouts left. Georgia Southern has 3. Elon took a timeout, and then on the ensuing play after that, they had the miscue with the snap and almost gave up the ball back inside the 5-yard line. But that timeout may come back to haunt Elon. We'll see. You're in a tight ball game. You're in the 4th quarter, and you may need all your timeouts on the last possession to win.
2nd and 7. Foster hit and stopped. Durant Daniels grabbed Foster and would not let go.
That time, I don't think Jason Foster expected the rush to come that hard. Usually there's a read where a man breaks down and you run up and you make the pitch or you keep the ball. There was no breakdown. He just came in and made the tackle.
5-yard loss on the play. Daniels, the leading tackler on the Elon defense. 3rd and 12. Foster across the middle, and that is complete to Campbell, who takes a rip-roaring hit from Walker White. 17 yards on the play. It's a first down, but Campbell paid the price. White dealing out the punishment.
Well, Pete Lembo told me that Walker White is old school hitter. He is a physical, kind of a John Lynch kind of a football player, wearing John Lynch's almost his number there, 49. Lynch wears 47, but old school meaning that he delivers a punch, and he did then. For the 2nd time on defense, Eric Ludwig is walking off. Looks like almost instant replay. He was coming off under the same steam last time. He may be cramping up just a little bit.
Ludwig escorted to the sideline. Campbell stays in the game after taking that monster hit from Walker White.
Georgia Southern not letting him get your breath. Right back at the line of scrimmage. Offense in a set position so that the ball can be snapped at any time.
Hamilton dances up the middle and picks up 8.
Now I'm looking at Elon's defense. Not quite as aggressive after the initial snap of the ball. See the guys kind of walking around a little bit more. Earlier in the game, they were all around that football. One guy make a hit, and here comes 5 others. Right now, those 5 others are tied.
Officially a 7-yard pickup for Hamilton. This time he's going to lose yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down situation for Georgia Southern. They are 4 of 14 on 3rd down in the game. Jason Foster, by the way, coach, moves into 7th place among the NCAA FCS Football Championship Subdivision all-time leaders for quarterback rushing yards, and he moves past his former teammate Chaz Williams.
He's a great player.
3rd and 4. Foster calls his own number, has the first down, has some room to the 5, to the end zone. Jason Foster, but hold on. There is a flag on the play. It is down at the 25-yard line.
And boy, is the sideline at Georgia Southern erupting, but now it looks like Georgia Southern's calming down as if the penalty's going against Elon.
It was a 33-yard play. Let's get the word.
I don't know. Nope, it's going against Georgia Southern.
Negating the 33-yard touchdown run by Jason Foster. That was also on 3rd down. See if we can pick it up here, Coach White.
It was right there, number 75. See him grab right there. There's the hold. And this happens early in the play right there.
Holding on the offense, number 21. 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
How about that?
Repeat 3rd down.
That was Raja Andrews. And not the left guard, who was also holding. But apparently that hold was all right.
He didn't get caught. Andrews did.
Can't see them all. You can call holding on every play. The players are scrapping and grabbing.
Elon has another player down. It is Andre Campbell, number 95.
Yeah, right here. There's the hole that they call. See him pull. You can see him pulling the jersey down in the run to the outside, and then a great cutback underneath. Right there underneath the next defender, and then turning on the speed. But there was clearly holding on play by more than one player. This is a cramped situation. You know, it started out at 75 degrees, I believe, at kickoff, and it certainly hadn't got any warmer. They're just playing hard, perspiring a lot, and you lose a lot of fluids in a hurry. If you haven't hydrated right before the game, you get cramps.
Temperature going down as the shadows lengthen with just over 10 minutes to play in the football game. Foster throws, a flag comes down. Campbell has the catch and gets down to the 20-yard line, but there's another flag.
And that was holding again on the offensive right side this time.
16 yards on the play if it stands, but it is not likely.
Yeah, I think Tim Happer came in there and was grabbed quick, probably by Russell Orr. Yep, right tackle number 62, Russell Orr, is the guy I'm going to predict was holding right here. There's the grab right there. Anytime you extend your hand in the open field, somebody's going to see it. And if he's got a yellow
holding
flag,
on the offense, number 62, 10 yards from previous spot to play third down.
Russell Orr is making his 34th straight start along the line for Georgia Southern. 94 yards and penalties for the Eagles has driven the ball back all the way to the 46-yard line. It is officially 3rd and 17. Georgia Southern 5 for 15 on third down in the game.
What looked to be a 30-23 lead by Georgia Southern after that run by Jason Foster. Thanks to the 2 holding calls, now it's up 3rd and forever.
Georgia Southern came into the game 42% on third down. They need a big one here on 3rd and 17. Foster fires. Campbell makes the catch, but he's dragged down short of the marker. Close to the 30-yard line, but it will not be enough. It will be 4th and short.
Another coaching decision here. It's going to be 4th and about 2 yards.
Walker White made the hit on the 28-yard pickup on the play for Georgia Southern.
They're going for it. No huddle.
One for one on 4th down, make it 2 for 2. Hamilton breaks a tackle inside the 10 and down to the 6. 1st and goal, Eagles.
Georgia Southern went right to the line of scrimmage on the no huddle, but they substituted. And when they substituted, Elon really didn't have a chance to match up. In the National Football League, it's got to be held. You've got to hold it until there's a chance to do that. And the officials allowed that to happen. I'm not sure. It's basically a courtesy that you've got to allow them to match up. But Georgia Southern substituted, no huddle. Elon frantically trying to get somebody on the field, didn't get him in the right spot.
26-yard run for Hamilton. 1st and goal from the 6 for the Eagles. Hamilton gets the call again. To the goal line, to the end zone. Touchdown, Mike Hamilton. His 4th rushing touchdown of the season puts Georgia Southern on top, 29-23, with the extra point upcoming from 6 yards out into the end zone for Hamilton.
And there are a couple of guys on the Georgia Southern offense. Glad to see that their holding didn't cost them 7 points. Outstanding stop and go running right there, and then low head level into the end zone, and the kick is good.
Hartley connects on the extra point. He has not missed one all season. He's true there. 8:56 to go in the ball game. The Eagles have come back to take the lead over the Phoenix, 30-23.
I'm a partner with Lee and Nakamura Architects.
What do you think?
Better. But I do business with United Schematic. That's not an elevator. That's a chimney.
Okay.
Malcolm
Elon and Georgia Southern. College football Saturday here on Sports South, and it's the Eagles with the 30-23 lead. Jesse Hartley set to boot it away. Here's your Carolina Ford Dealers bold move scoring drive. 9 plays, 54 yards, 3 minutes, 52 seconds. Hamilton 6 yards out and into the end zone for his 4th touchdown run of the season.
We'll come talk about what Coach Limbo was upset about in just a minute. Remember, they getting scored on. He's upset about that.
Mayers up to the 40 and down to the 45.
Michael Mayers is one of those guys that can change the ball game around with a kickoff return, one play, which is as good as any offensive play you can call.
Coach, take a look at this. Hartley has to get in on the tackle here on Mayers.
Hartley is the kicker, having to make the saving tackle at the very end. Mayers, now when he cuts back, there's Hartley coming in right there at the end to make sure that there's no place for him to go and that his teammates can kind of catch him from behind. Once again, anytime you hesitate, you're wrong and hesitate in the open field.
35-yard return from Mayers as the first down pass from Riddle is incomplete.
Elon now down by 7. Now is the time that that timeout may come back. Coach Pete Limbo was really on that official because he didn't feel like he gave him a chance to match up defensively on that last touchdown run by Georgia Southern.
8:43 to go here in the football game. 2nd and 10 from the 45 for Elon. Letty at midfield into Georgia Southern territory, and I believe he is just shy of a first down to bring up 3rd and short for Elon. We are in Elon, North Carolina, Rhodes Stadium, McKinnon Field. Southern Conference football here on Sports South. Tom Wormy along with the coach, Sam Weich.
Former coach. Former everything.
Once a coach, always a coach. A Super Bowl coach, no less. And it's going to depend on the spot here.
They're getting a very favorable one, but both officials from both sides are marking it almost in the exact spot, so they saw it happen, and it's a first down.
Sam Weich played in the Super Bowl, coached in the Super Bowl as a head coach and as an assistant.
Correct. That's very good. There are only 4 people that have done that. You know who the other 3 are? You've already got one. I'm standing here right next to you.
I think you're going to tell me
after this play.
Okay. Riddle, Letty, inside the 40. First down, Phoenix. Close to the 30-yard line.
Scott Riddle in the last 2 plays has done some very smart decision-making throws. He has seen nothing down the field and laid it off short. Watch, he's looking down the field. Now he comes off of it quick, gets it quickly into the flat before the recovery by the defense. And up for the first down. Didn't quite get out of bounds to stop that clock. That's right. Let's say really good. The clock is not running.
17-yard pass play. Over the middle.
Hard throw.
Williamson drags a tackler down to the 20, and that is close to a first down. Just about a yard shy.
Excuse me, Tom. That reminds you of Tom Brady, doesn't it? I mean, he's just pecking, marching him right down the field. Somebody's not open deep, lay it off short. I'm not sure if he got a full yard in there.
Needed a full yard to get down to the 19 for the first down.
It'll be very, very close. I don't believe he got it. While they're coming out to measure, I'll tell you who the other 3 guys were that played in a Super Bowl, were an assistant coach in a Super Bowl, and also a head coach.
How about Mike Ditka? Is that one of them?
Mike Ditka. And if you ask Mike, he'll tell you real quickly he's the only one that won all 3 of the games.
That's right. Beat the Patriots in Super Bowl 20.
That's right.
Thanks to the Fridge and Walter Payton and Jim McMahon.
And the other 2 coaches are Tom Flores, the Raiders, did it, with all of them with the Raiders, and Dan Reeves, who did it with Dallas and Denver.
And they're going to be short. About a 1.5 feet to go for Elon.
Well, they have to go for it. They're down by 7. There's 7 minutes to go. 3 points is 3 points, but it's still going to leave you a touchdown away from catching Georgia Southern.
Pete Limbo watching his freshman from Ramseur, North Carolina, Scott Riddle, the true freshman. First in the nation in completions per game with 30. He has 21 of 40 attempts. And he still has the ball. Makes a great move to sidestep one man inside the 10. There is a flag down on the play. Riddle dives for the end zone.
think there was early movement, though, on Elon's side of the ball. This one may come back. Flag went up immediately.
19 yards on the play for Riddle. And you can see the Elon players indicating it's against Georgia Southern. It's David Harrison, number 70, pointing towards the Eagles.
Settle down now. Get your composure back. Too excited out there as right at the top of the screen. Quick movement. Outstanding move by Scott Riddle to break and get the first down, and then outstanding effort right there to try to get the touchdown.
Offsides on the defense, number 52. Penalties refused. First down.
Riddle looked a little bit like Michael Jordan taking off for a slam dunk there as he tried to get the nose of the football to break the plane and get into the end zone.
Yeah, but if we just try to put it in real context, football, it's kind of like, remember.
All right, 1st and goal. From inside the 1 for Elon.
Taking away the quarterback sneak there in the shotgun.
Riddle has it. Dives for the end zone.
Wait a second.
Waiting for the indication.
I believe the official's going to rule his knee was down before he went in.
Now remember, Jason Foster, it was ruled that his knee was not down when it clearly was, and he scored a touchdown.
I'll tell you, I see this call right here, but Jason Foster was clearly down as well. Let's just see. It's going to be close. His knee doesn't look like it's as far down as Jason Foster's was at the time. 2nd down.
2nd and goal for the Phoenix. Trailing by 7.
Stay in the shotgun. Takes away the quarterback sneak.
And Riddle wants to talk about it.
Well, that'll move him to 1 timeout with 6 minutes to go in the game.
Now, was Scott Riddle down? Let's take a look at that knee, Coach.
There's the reach.
There's the knee right there hitting.
The knee is down. The official is absolutely right on that. The ball, I don't think, has crossed the plane. It's pretty hard to tell from this angle, but it's right there. The knee is down. From here, certainly not conclusive evidence if the replay was in play, which is not. Now his knee is down and the ball is, he's reaching for it, but yeah, looks to me like that one was called correctly. The other one may have been called correctly too. There's just from the angles we saw, it looked like that Jason Foster's knee was down just before he crossed the goal line.
2nd and goal inside the 1. 6 minutes, 7 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Riddle wants to try it again. And there's a scrum around the goal line, and Georgia Southern says has the ball.
Depends on when they blow the whistle, when forward motion was ruled.
Terrion Benefield came out of there with the football. Georgia Southern says it has it. Do the officials agree?
Nope.
It does not appear that they do. And one official just wants the football so he can spot it inside the 1, and we will do it all over again. Let's take a look.
There's the push. Good penetration coming from the outside. There's the steal. The question is, when did they blow the whistle? When was the play over? Because forward momentum was good steal the ball. At 1 point, though.
Riddle, pitch forward. Touchdowns. Taylor. The 2nd time we've seen that play today, and it works once again for the Elon Phoenix.
This time to the right, previous time to the left. Obviously, they are amphibious.
Or ambidextrous?
Or whatever.
Whatever. 17th touchdown pass of the season for the freshman, and the 2nd touchdown catch of the game for Dante Taylor, who is also a true freshman. Wilcox ties this game at 30 with the extra point. What a drive from the Phoenix. We are all tied up thanks to this little shovel pass forward to Taylor. More on Sports South right after this. What a football game. Tied at 30 between Elon and Georgia Southern, the 21st ranked team in the nation.
Started off kind of slow with the scoring end of it here, but he's picking up. Georgia Southern used to scoring about 43 a game. 37-38 for Elon.
Carolina Ford Dealers scoring drive, 10 plays, 55 yards, 3 minutes, 23 seconds. The 1-yard touchdown catch for Dante Taylor, his second of the game, and a very similar play. Andrews taken down at the 25.
Late flag coming in, a little extracurricular activity after the whistle, after the tackle.
Terrell Wilson made the tackle on the 22-yard return from Raja Andrews.
Oh, boy. If you're an Elon fan, the last thing you want to see after you've made a nice drive and scored a touchdown and you kick off and got them, you know, about the 25, 26-yard line pretty good, is to give up.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 43, Elon. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
That is Brandon Wiggins, number 43.
Brandon Wiggins will get a good long lecture on that one, although it was just both sides were going at it, and you know the official's going to call it on somebody. This stage, keep your poise, keep your composure.
Foster dropped. Corey Weaver on the stop. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Just a slight loss on the play there, Coach. And Coach, you know, Lamar Lewis had a great game until he had to go out of the game with an injury to his left knee. He had 9 carries for 103 yards. That's his 4th career 100-yard rushing game, but he is on the sidelines watching right now.
That's why we've seen Chris Teal in there. He's done a good job as well. All of them are.
Here's Hamilton, who has taken over much of the rushing chores for Lamar Lewis. Stopped there by David Hunt, and here is the injury.
This is left knee now. Let's see, right there, probably gets twisted. Not only is he hit down hard, but he gets twisted. When your knee gets in that compromising situation and your foot is actually locked in the turf, you can't get it free.
Georgia Southern, 4 of 15 on 3rd down, as Lamar Lewis is an interested spectator on the sidelines. Has not returned to the game. Rushed for over 100 yards in the game and had a 55-yard touchdown run in the first quarter to open up the scoring. Foster on 3rd down. Oh! Hammered, and the ball is out.
That's a fumble.
Andre Campbell with a stick on Foster. And Georgia Southern maintains possession. Number 62 falling on the ball, Russell Orr. And Jason Foster is one tough football player. He took a stick from Andre Campbell.
Well, there's a last-minute look at it, too. He didn't see it coming very long. Right there. Ball clearly comes out, but Georgia Southern is able to recover it. And that means that they'll get a chance to post about 40 yards or so on the punt.
11-yard loss on the play. Sullivan. 2 flags are on the field. 1 rather. Across the 40. Sullivan down at the 42, but there is a flag right near where he went down.
Almost always when you see flags, it's on the return team. It's holding. Shove in the back, something. Players are in the open field. A lot of maneuvering room for the other guy, and so you end up making a mistake. It's usually a mistake of aggression. You're trying to do your job, and things don't work out. Certainly not a mental mistake.
14-yard return by Sullivan will be
on the return,
negated.
Illegal block in the back. Elon, number 9, 10 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Didn't the official, Sam, sound almost exasperated having to make the call? Like he was a little disappointed in the Elon players. He
kind of, whose side are you taking?
Just his reaction was kind of funny. Like, oh no, here's another penalty.
Right in here is where the penalty takes place. You see, he hit him in the back. Not only hit him in the back, takes out 2 people doing it.
Jeremy Barrett. Mayers. Correction, Williamson on the catch. That's a 12-yard pickup on the play. First down for Elon.
All right, there's 3 minutes, 9 seconds left. Clock will stop while they spot it.
And how about the game from Bo Williamson?
He's made some big plays. Here's the big touchdown, the big play that also resulted in points for him. And then the underneath and the nice run.
6 catches for 114 yards for Williamson, but Riddle hits the turf.
Once again.
Quentin Taylor's number 10, and he's pretty happy about that effort right there.
Yeah, Chris Wharton's having his hands full on the left side over there. That's Chris. Actually, it's not. We've got another tackling the ball in here. I think. Anyway, sack. Don't want to do that now. You've only got one timeout. You clearly don't want to give the ball back to Georgia Southern in good field position.
Complete. Camp up to the 45.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards. Now this is an important one right here, but the main thing you don't want to do at this spot on the minus 45-yard line is to take a sack and lose it, because from here you can back up Georgia Southern. You can put that ball well inside the 20, maybe even inside the 10 with your punt.
11-yard gain on the previous pass play. Lance Camp making the grab. 8 for 18 on 3rd down for Elon in the football game. From its own 45.
Look for Georgia Southern to call a quick timeout right here. Stop the clock. There they do. Minute 40 seconds. Georgia Southern had 3 timeouts. Now they'll have 2.
Georgia Southern, first charge timeout of the half.
The reason Georgia Southern would take a defensive timeout there, obviously the offense can piddle around a little bit, eat up all 25 seconds after the spot of the ball, which will take 12 to 15 seconds. That's where the NFL came up with their 40-second rule. They do a time and motion study, so to speak, and no motion ball. All right, they did a time study, and they measured how long it took officials on average to spot the balls, around 12, 13, 14 seconds. And then the 25-second would add up to around 40.
The upcoming schedule here on Sports South. We'll have that for you in a moment. We'll see where we'll be in the coming weeks. For Southern Conference football, we have Appalachian State at Furman in 2 weeks. This is Jason Foster signaling for a fair catch at the 11 and making it successfully.
Okay, that was a good kick.
Here's that schedule I was talking about, Sam.
Number 5, Appalachian State against Furman, who lost a heartbreaker in overtime at the Citadel today. Then we go to Georgia Southern to see Furman again, and then finish at Appalachian State with Chattanooga, visiting them on November 17th. So all good games. I tell you, there's so much scoring going on around the Southern Conference. They're good spectator games.
Georgia Southern, Lamar Lewis, that was the 55-yard TD run. Georgia Southern has 338 total rushing yards in the game, coach, and there's Hamilton.
Everyone has a part in it, Georgia Southern.
Hamilton 71 yards on the ground, and he gets the call here for a couple. Chattanooga responsible for the only loss of the season for Georgia Southern in overtime. September 22nd, that was a 45-38 final. Otherwise, Georgia Southern has won all 4 of its other games, and here are the leading rushers for the Eagles during today's game.
That 96 yards is well under the 176-yard average for Jason Foster. Lamar Lewis used to getting around 100 yards, just under 100 yards average.
Foster up close to the 20. Stopped by Cameron McGlenn.
Now, Elon will let this clock run and call timeout immediately if there is not a first down and the clock is running, so that they can force the punt, maybe block the punt, or at least get a chance for a Hail Mary at the very end of the game.
3rd and 3 for Georgia Southern. The clock continues to tick. 30 seconds to go in the game. Georgia Southern taking its time.
They're going to let that clock run down. They don't want to leave any time on it. They're going to go into overtime here. And they call timeout with 1 second left on the 25-second clock.
Georgia Southern, second time.
And on the clock. Officially, there are 19 seconds remaining.
Well, here's the situation with Elon having one timeout. If Georgia Southern elects to run the ball and does not make the first down, just trying to kill the clock and go into overtime. If they don't make the first down, Elon calls an immediate timeout, forces the punt. Anything can happen, of course, anything from a block punt to a long run back. And with the field goal kickers on both sides of the ball there, that could be the difference in the game.
Andrew Wilcox has connected on 3 field goals during the game for Elon. As for Jesse Hartley, he is 3 of 4 in the game, including a 49-yarder in the second quarter. And remember what Hartley did a week ago, a 54-yarder to win the game as time expired against South Dakota State.
And that happened after an interception by Carson Hill with just 31 seconds left to go in that ball game. Put him in field goal position, and they won the game over South Dakota State.
And Carson Hill has an interception in today's game as well. 19 seconds to go. Foster takes off. And he is close to the first down marker.
He's got it. Clock will stop just long enough to spot the ball. Now Georgia Southern got to decide whether they want to just end the game, regulation, or take a shot down the field.
Foster from the shotgun. He'll run. And be tackled by Corey Weaver. And time is going to run out.
Here we go.
Georgia Southern content to let the clock run down. Guess where we're going? It's overtime in the Southern Conference on Sports South. The Eagles and the Phoenix all tied up at 30. The OT is upcoming. Back to Elon, North Carolina. It's overtime. All tied at 30 between Georgia Southern and the Phoenix from Elon. The Phoenix rising out of the ashes. They actually had a fire here on campus in 1923, and like the Phoenix out of the ashes, the university grew once again as we head to overtime between Pete Lembo's team and Chris Hatcher's Georgia Southern Eagles. There is the Phoenix rising from the ashes. They rebuilt the school. It was called Elon College at the time. Here are your overtime rules. Each team gets a possession at the opponent's 25-yard line. The team retains the ball until it scores or fails to make a first down. If we are still tied after each team has had the ball twice, if teams score a touchdown, you must go for 2 at that point. Both teams will get 1 timeout during the course of the first overtime.
Of course, if you win the toss, you want to elect to be on defense so that you know what you've got to do. If the other team gets a field goal, and means that you can go for the field goal in a tough situation and still extend the overtime.
It looks like Elon won the toss because the referee was talking to the Elon players first. Now the decision by Foster is what end of the field do we want to play at during the first portion of the first overtime. So Georgia Southern will start with the football. Elon on defense. And let's take a look at the Southern Conference scoreboard from around the area. Wofford big over Gardner-Webb. Furman, an overtime thriller and a loss at the Citadel. Western Carolina and Chattanooga will play at 6 o'clock. They should be just about set to kick that one off. Right here, we are set for overtime. The standings in the Southern Conference, Wofford improving to 6-1 overall. Georgia Southern at 1-1 in the conference. Elon at 0-1 in the conference. 2-2 overall. Georgia Southern 3-1.
I'll tell you, this is it's an interesting strategy right here. Number one, whether you want to go first or not, and you obviously want to go second if you can. So the flip of the coin in many cases can decide, or at least give the team on defense first better odds, because you know what you got to match. And as a team going first, sometimes you might go for the touchdown when, if you knew you only needed 3, that you would just kick the field goal and extend it if you had a 3rd down or 4th down and long for the touchdown.
This will be the first overtime game of the season for Elon. Georgia Southern back on September 22nd played an overtime game in Statesboro against Chattanooga and lost in overtime 45-38 to the Mocs.
3 points. The field goal comes into play big here. Both teams having good kickers, having good days. It comes down to that. Both will be confident when their team lines up. It won't have to be 54 yards like it was last week against South Dakota State.
Elon led at the half 20-13. The Phoenix 3-0 thus far this season when leading at the half, but now we go to overtime and you look right into the face of the senior Jason Foster, directing the offense from the 25-yard line. They can get it down to the 15. They will earn another set of downs.
Now what else happens right here is another shot of adrenaline goes through you because it is the overtime. You were fatigued at the end of the fourth quarter, but that all seems to go away. It's like getting ready for another ball game, which it is. Only obviously sudden death.
Jason Foster in that loss to Tennessee Chattanooga, 210 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns for the OT loss, 45-38 to the Mocs. Teal. And Teal gets a couple. Chris Teal, the true freshman.
Elon elected to go with zone coverage, looking back into that backfield to see where the ball was going to go. Look at the setup blocks right here. Very good. Got into the outside. And then just good solid defense. Holding you to just a couple of yards on that one. Second down.
2nd and 9 for Georgia Southern. Foster wants to throw, gets it away. It's incomplete. The receiver closest to the football was Irving Campbell, but he was covered, and covered well by Walker White.
They are crossing down, or Georgia Southern ran a crossing route, 2 receivers crossing down the field, and it looked like Foster, about to get hit, just laid the ball in between the 2 of them. More of a throwaway than it was trying to complete that pass. Don't want to take yourself out of field goal range here.
3rd and 9. Foster to pass. Incomplete. At the feet of Teal. 4th down for the Eagles.
Well, at 4th down and 8, they're going to kick, surely. There they come. All right. Foster, when he's going to the right, when you're falling away from the throw, which he was right there, you're going to ground it most of the time. And that's exactly what happened. And he could feel pressure coming. He tried to whip it out there real quick. It didn't happen for him.
41-yard attempt from Jesse Hartley. 3 of 4 on the day. It's up and away. And it is good. Hartley from 41 yards out gives Georgia Southern the lead, 33-30.
I can tell you, it is so nice to have a kicker, but also to have a snapper and a holder that can get the ball down. And that time, Jason Foster handled a snap, looked okay, but when he dropped it, he got the ball back up there for a clean spot.
So now Jesse Hartley has connected from 49, 29, 22, and now 41 yards in overtime. And here comes the Phoenix and the freshman quarterback, Scott Riddle.
The same deal. You don't want to take a big sack here and knock yourself out of field goal range or out of an easy field goal shot. You go to the screen quick.
Hudgens down to the 20.
Georgia Southern went with pressure right away defensively. Played man-to-man behind it. Brought the extra people. They had the screen call, but didn't quite break loose from the tackler. Here comes the blitz. You can see it coming from the top and the bottom of the screen.
6th catch of the game for Hudgens. 6 catches for 54 yards, and Riddle has gone over 300 yards passing in the game. The running play is unsuccessful.
Crowd.
Jerry Barker, number 90, making the stop.
It's fun listening to the crowd's reaction right here. Why did you call that? Well, We thought it would work, for goodness sake.
Yeah, Dante Taylor on the rush, nothing doing.
Coming in, one extra guy. The quarterback, of course, can't block him.
Little dumps it off. No, it's blocked. A piece of it by Beard. Got his hands on that one, incomplete.
Had Larry Beard been able to hold on to that ball, just drop to the ground, the game would be over, because you, of course, don't have to make a march. Look up at the top. Here's Larry Beard. He's coming up. He sees the pass, times the jump. If you're not going to get to that quarterback, you're best to measure your rush and say that you can do that. Jump up and knock it down.
39-yard field goal attempt from Wilcox. There's a flag on the field. The kick is no good, but hold on. There's a flag on the field. Georgia Southern is celebrating, understandably so, but the flag is closer to the Elon bench, and it's against Georgia Southern. This game is not over.
Defensively, on a kick like that, you crowd the line of scrimmage as tight as you can. If you line up in the neutral zone, of course, it's a penalty. But if you get an early jump and you just roll right into that neutral zone prior to the snap, it's a penalty.
Defense. Number 2, offsides, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Number 2 is Brandon Jackson.
He just lined up offsides and from the very beginning. You know, most of the time coaches tell their guys on the end of the line of scrimmage to look out at that official and just nod at him. Make the official at least recognize the fact that you're trying to be in the right spot. They'll help you sometimes. Got the same defensive rush coming. It leaves you 5 yards closer now.
34 yards away, the kick is up, and it is good. Andrew Wilcox from 34 yards away, his 4th field goal of the game. So Georgia Southern thought it had this game won. The penalty, the re-kick, and it is good from 34 yards from Wilcox. We are going to overtime number 2. We are headed to our second overtime here at Elon University Road Stadium on the beautiful campus here in Elon, North Carolina. Georgia Southern thought this game was over, but on the second attempt, Andrew Wilcox from 34 yards away, and check out the reaction, had it all the way.
Had him on the head. Now go sit down. We'll call you when we need you again.
We're probably going to need you again. So we change ends. Elon will have the ball first this time because they had it first, or second rather, in the first overtime. Head coach Pete Lembo has not changed his expression throughout the whole game. He talks about poise of his young quarterback, and it is going to be put to the test right here in double overtime. Riddle looking to throw. Pressured and down.
All right.
Larry Beard coming from the side of Riddle, and he brought him down.
Damon Suggs also in on that, but I tell you that there is the one thing you don't want to do is lose yardage in the overtime, because obviously it makes for the long field goal attempt. They've got to get that back and make sure that this doesn't end up being a 50-yarder.
Lost 7 on the play. 3rd sack of the game for Beard, over the middle, incomplete. Looking for Mayers.
Remember, a turnover here, whether an interception or a fumble loss, that's just like no points, and then it would be Georgia Southern's ball with their attempt. But all they'd have to do is get close enough in their minds to say they have a chip shot field goal to win it and get it over with. They wouldn't have to go to 4th down even. They could do it whenever they want to on any down.
3rd and 17 for the Elon Phoenix. Ball at the 32-yard line. Riddle feels the pressure from Beard again. Throws to the end zone. Hudgens is there. Incomplete. Diedrich Bynum on the coverage against Hudgens, who almost made a circus grab in the corner of the end zone.
Yes. And Riddle is grabbing his left arm. Or that's not Riddle. That's our left tackle here, Werner.
That's Worden. Yes, Worden. Number 51. Taking
That time,
one knee.
Scott Riddle when he lets this ball go, there are a couple of guys that aren't for the home run that are open. And he is looking downfield. At that point, either tuck it and run or drop your eyes and look for someone else. Now, he is a freshman. He'll learn all that stuff over time. That experience, that play right there will teach him something. But here, just shy of a 50-yard field goal to stay in the game.
Wilcox 4 for 4 from 49 yards away. Career long is 43. Plenty of leg, and it's through the uprights.
Oh, that might have been good from 60. That was one big leg kick right there.
He hit his career long in the first quarter from 48 yards. Now on his 5th field goal attempt of the game, he goes one better from 49 yards, right through the uprights, Sam.
Good protection, good snap, good hold, all the execution that has to take place. Everybody thinks that the kick is just the kicker. I mean, it is not. It is an 11-man play, probably as much as any play on the offense, because you don't have a backside. Every part of the play is important.
Sam, Elon in overtime. In school history, they are 2-1. The only game here at home they won. Here comes Georgia Southern on its possession. That was against Wingate in 1995. They've also beaten Samford and Western Kentucky in overtime. Georgia Southern, 5 overtime matchups. And most recently, that loss against Chattanooga. Also a double overtime loss last year to Appalachian State. Foster taken down. That's Weaver.
Same action as on first down. They gave the ball to Mike Hamilton. This time he pulls it back. There's the fake underneath, and then he pulls it back. Nice looking hole, but out of nowhere, Elon shuts that one down.
Corey Weaver making the stop, number 10.
He's had a big game, too. He's been involved in a lot of plays. He's another one of those old school guys that just claws and scraps and finds a way to win.
Junior from New Bern, North Carolina. Now Georgia Southern will take a timeout and talk about this one because it's now 3rd and 7. Chris Hatcher takes his timeout here of the second overtime. Elon leads it 36-33. 2 field goals in overtime from Andrew Wilcox, including a 49-yarder. Yes, Andrew, that is your career long. Nice timing.
Nice timing is right. Everything is timing. 3rd down and 7 yards, a long 6 at least. The big question here that the coach has to answer, does he risk putting the ball in the air when his strength is the running game? Elon's done a good job of defending that running game today, better than anybody Georgia Southern has played all year long.
Georgia Southern has rushed for 360 yards in the game. It's an offense that averages just below that, 357.4 per game. But Jason Foster has been contained. 30 rushes for 112 yards and a touchdown for Foster. 3rd and 7 from the 22. Foster, Campbell goes down.
No flag. They rule it incidental.
Ragland on the coverage. 4th down for Georgia Southern.
You know, the other aspect of this that I thought they might do is be run to the left to center the ball. It's on the right hash around the 22-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Here's the replay of it. Both of them going up, both of them looking back. I don't think you could make an argument that that was a penalty. That was a good clean block.
Jesse Hartley, 4 of 5. This one from 39 yards away. It's low. It's short. It's no good. Elon has won the game in double overtime. 36-33. The Phoenix over the Eagles.
Boy, the difference in the emotions between the winners and the losers.
And remember, Georgia Southern had this game won, but not for a penalty. Wilcox got a second chance at it and connected on his field goal. Jesse Hartley misses from 39 yards out. Hartley, who was the hero last week, kicking a field goal in the final seconds of the game for a victory over South Dakota State. This week, it's Elon. And take a look at number 45 and his dejection.
Actually, the ball was hit hard enough. He thought it might stay in the air and just barely clear the upright, but it did not. And Elon comes away a winner in double overtime.
Andrew Wilcox, 5 field goals in the game, including the game winner, which was a 49-yarder in the second overtime, 5 of 5, and he is the BB&T player of the game on behalf of Andrew Wilcox. BB&T will make a contribution to the General Scholarship Fund of the Southern Conference. At the end of the year, the money will be divided among the member institutions. Sam, what a game, double overtime, a 3-point win for the Phoenix.
And I bet if they took a vote in the locker room at the Elon locker room that Andrew Wilcox would have won the player of the game, undisputed player of the game. Terrific competition, both sides played hard. Just a few mistakes late in the ball game that swung it in the favor of Elon, and they come away with a double overtime win.
The Elon Phoenix, they will improve to 4-2 on the season, 2-1 in the conference, and 3-1 here at Rhodes Stadium. Our final score from Rhodes Stadium in Elon, North Carolina, as Pete Lembo celebrates the victory, 36-33 Elon, double overtime. Join us in 2 weeks for more Southern Conference football on Sports South, as 5th-ranked and 2-time defending national champion Appalachian State takes on traditional power Furman. Game time set for 3 p.m. Eastern. Once again, the final in double overtime. Elon over Georgia Southern, 36-33. For Sam White, I'm Tom Wormy. So long from Elon, North Carolina.